And welcome, everybody, to episode 116.
You waited this time.
Hey, I wanted to make sure it's officially over. This is your co-host, Steve, and always joined by
Charles here.
And via satellite, BV from Chicago, Illinois. How you doing, Bill?
I'm all right. How are you?
Don't fuck with Bill. He's very armed today.
Strapped to the nine.
Yeah, I mean, you fuck with that man, you be a right in the face.
I'm telling you, man.
You are fucking toast.
Things are getting really heated in Chicago.
Yeah, there's no protesters fucking with BV today. So
just gun cleaning day.
Yeah, well, you know, I had ball cleaning day.
Well,
they're nice and clean. Hey, anyone out there that goes to Planet Fitness,
anyone who wants that visual, just
yeah, I'll send you some clips. Anyone out there goes to Planet Fitness and doesn't go in order on the rotation of the interval training, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah, I think
I fucking hate it. Anyways, randomly. So we got a lot to talk about this week. We got some playoffs. We got some NBA. We got the door shut because someone was cussing. Assholes. College. And I went back to the theater. The theater, I like to call it. That Charles
What
hates.
theater you go to out there? What was the name of it?
It was a Cinemark.
Okay.
The one that I'm actually part of.
Yeah, you
here,
get the program with.
And bonus, I got a free ticket, so it was even better. It cost me $8 to go, so I was fucking excited.
Plus 18 gallons of gas to get to Sylvia.
Yeah, so I had to drove 3 hours to see a theater. But we're going to talk about that in a minute here. So let's start that off, by the way. Here in Michigan, the COVID and stuff like that. Friday night, so our governor likes to do, like, sneak announcements.
It is really weird the way
she does late Friday. She said on October 9th, all theaters, all trampoline parks, all Dave & Buster's can open up with like 20 to 30%.
What day of the week is October 9th?
I don't know.
BB, you got that?
Yeah, I'll give it a check.
Yeah, I'm just curious. It's a really obscure date to me. I don't know why. October 9th.
October 9th is a Friday.
It's a Friday.
So
well, at least it's a Friday.
So she does it for Fridays and Mondays. But yeah, to your point,
yeah,
the way she's rolling this info on is really bizarre.
Well, they claim that the business owners asked till October 9th because that way it gives them a chance to staff up and stuff and try to find who actually wants to come back and work in the theater. Because I imagine a lot of those kids have moved on to other things.
We still haven't actually. We open on Monday for the workout center in our hotel, so it's. To your point, it's kind of hard to like roll out procedures and how you're going to do things and then the things you haven't considered and all that kind of stuff.
So that's the catch up on Michigan. Now, one that hit our team. So this is the reason I went out to the theater today because our team Notre Dame got hit with some COVID this past week.
Yeah, and they're also so. And again, some of the South Florida kids came down with it, so they're not sure.
If they got it from the Irish or vice versa.
Yeah, which way it went. But it just goes to show just how infectious this can be.
So Notre Dame postponed their game with Wake Forest.
They're running into a lot of – did you read how they're – so they're scrambling for when the ACC championship's going to be. So they thought it was going to be December 12th. Now they're going to bump it to the 19th because they're having to like do makeup games and all this kind of stuff. It sounds like a lot of things are going to have to remain fluid, which is kind of crazy because – to your point, you go from the 19th, now you're into the 26th, you're going to play a game? Like, that's pretty crazy.
So no Notre Dame this week. But the one thing that is back is the SEC. Those Southern boys, they like to play some football.
Are there any, real quick, and going around the room, have any of you guys heard of, just the only game I've heard of postponed was the Notre Dame Wake Forest one. Any other games you guys heard?
As far as this week? Or
yeah.
I mean, there were some
recently.
in the first week, but
that's
the only one recently I've heard of.
BB, have you heard any?
That's the only one I'm aware of this week.
Yeah.
Because Notre Dame's being honest and actually reporting it where nobody else is.
Oh.
Remember Clemson? We have 3 players not available to play. Why? Don't worry about why. Remember that first game against, ironically, Wake Forest? Undisclosed reasons. Yep. Dabo was like, them boys sick, but it ain't COVID.
They're going to stay away for 2 weeks, precisely.
Yes. Yeah,
it's a high ankle sprain.
They're visiting family in Arkansas for 2 weeks, and then they'll be back. Wow. So the SEC is back today.
Is there any ramifications if someone lies in that area, I wonder? I'm just curious. Have you guys heard of anything?
Who's going to hold something again? The NCAA, nobody gives a fuck.
They
got no power.
Just get that money.
The conference does whatever it wants. They just tell the NCAA to fuck off.
BV, have you heard anything?
No, I'm not aware of anything specific.
Yeah,
no.
so I think you could Bill Belichick the shit out of those numbers and everything. No one's gonna say a word.
Yeah, that's why I don't know why Notre Dame's being honest.
Like,
Just
dude,
put those guys in a room
if you want to
somewhere.
compete nationally, get shady with the rest of them.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Quit being honest. So the SEC's back today, and I looked over the schedule. I didn't see too many great games scheduled, but currently right now,
That's,
LSU is losing.
what's that score, BB? What do you got? You said that.
Well, just went to commercial. They actually just tied the game at 34.
Ooh,
LSU, and then who's that?
Mississippi State was up by 10 about 3 minutes ago from game clock, and then proceeded to give up a touchdown and then fumble. And LSU just kicked the field goal, so they're tied with 9.5 minutes to go.
Bama's going to play Missouri. Whatever.
The big one too is we talked to pre-show. So Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss, whatever the Running Rebels or whatever, they from? Yeah, they got whooped by Florida this morning or this early afternoon. So
what was the final score of that one?
They were saying Florida was setting records. BB, you got that one?
I want to say it was 48-35, but I'll take it. 51-35 Florida.
Yeah.
They scored 35.
Yeah, that's quite a defensive struggle.
Yeah, a lot
there
of
wasn't much
defense in this. Big 12 had a lot of defense too in the game we were watching. So
yeah, we were watching Texas. Texas Tech was on Fox today.
So I think the late game is Kentucky, number 23 Kentucky versus number 8 Auburn, and we all know about the Gus Malzahn hot seat.
Yeah, we've discussed it.
That game's already taken place today.
Oh, it did? I missed it?
That game actually started at noon.
Oh, I missed that.
Auburn won 29-13.
All right. So
oh, now the question
Gus Malzahn
is he off the hot
his
seat
job
this week?
at least for 2 more weeks?
2 more weeks? All right.
If there is a big game tonight, it would be Florida State and Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
probably a big one. Even though
if it were 1994, it'd be huge.
Didn't Florida State lose to Georgia Tech 14-13?
Yeah.
So Florida State,
they're not good.
They're not. Miami's probably going to roll
I
them.
told you, man. They were all wearing them belly shirts today. That'd be crazy.
I know you don't have it on the show notes, but did you catch this week, too, that both the Pac-12 and MAC have decided to play in the fall? Now all
shocker.
FBS conference. Yeah, all FBS conferences are playing in the fall.
I heard the Mac's only 6 games.
Yeah, and the Pac-12.
I heard that no one wants to
7
watch
games.
those 6 games anyway.
Yeah,
so
and I heard they're going to
really.
struggle with the testing, like affording it.
Oh, really? Because some of
Yeah.
those smaller schools
Yeah,
are
they
in
don't
there,
have the
right?
money that the Big Ten and them have. I don't know how the Pac-12 is going to do it, looking through the smoke, trying to throw a ball.
Well, isn't that subsided? I thought all
I
that
don't
stuff.
know.
I know you're joking, but I think it is.
The
I could be
hellscape of the
wrong.
West Coast, I
Yeah,
have
the
no
West
idea.
Coast is sketchy as shit.
No one
right
can
now.
vote out there because everything's on fire.
Yeah, man.
The Democrats
know.
are in trouble. I don't know. So there we go. A little look at college football this week. Nothing. I didn't see any really big matchups that stuck out to me.
Anything look crazy? I think Clemson looks insane still. I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see when Ohio State fires up what that Ohio State
And
product
we still
looks
got
like this
that's
year.
October 24th, right?
Yeah,
we got 3 weeks before the Big Ten gets
Yeah,
going.
imagine how many more trees Harbaugh's going to climb and everything in that time.
I mean,
so.
cleats he's gonna wear in houses. All right, now there is some sad news this week, Charles.
I actually saw this earlier today. Speaking of
Yeah.
Ohio State news and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, John Laurinaitis. You know who he is?
Well, he would be Hawker.
Joe
Animal.
Laurinaitis. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yes. He has a brother named John Laurinaitis who's also big in the WWE. He's in that. He's more of a background character, like as far as like CEOs. Like he's a. What does John Laurinaitis do, BB?
I don't know what he does now. He was on TV for a long time. I don't know what,
He
maybe
was like the crooked
10 years
manager
ago.
type deal.
like the vice president of talent relations or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
So his brother is Joe Laurinaitis, who is world famous as Animal from the Road Warriors. Now both are dead. The Hawk had died probably about 10 years ago.
Did they say what was the cause of
Now,
death?
this is the one that's weirding me out a little bit. He was 60 years old, and the cause of death was natural causes. What naturally kills you at 60? I don't know.
I'm going to say an enlarged heart from periodic use of steroids
Yes.
would be my guess. I'm no doctor. Don't come to me for your doctor advice, but
I'm just saying.
and by periodic you mean regularly for at least 2 decades.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I will say that the last 10 years he's been retired. He lost a ton of weight. It looked like he was almost like he had a disease.
So he was off cycle?
Yeah, he deflated quite a bit once he
well,
finally
so did
retired.
Lyle Alzado, and how well did that work out?
Yeah, I know. So 60 years old. The Road Warriors.
I know that a lot of people, a lot of the bigger stars of the WWE were touched or like said something about it and everything. So.
Well, yeah, because after he retired, he went backstage and he was a talent kind of guy.
Yeah.
Him and his brother
Sounded
both
like he was
were
a
a
very
lot.
big deal.
Yeah, and there you go. So he has passed away. So now, up there in heaven, you can have a hell of a WrestleMania. You got Mr. Perfect.
Yeah,
You got the Road Warriors, Andre the Giant. I mean, there's a shitload of wrestlers up there. I'm just saying, life expectancy of wrestlers.
It is and I'm sure we've had, your friend Terry and Rhino on. It's a tough life, man. It is.
Yeah.
You're on the road. You're expected to be a physical specimen. There's a kid screaming.
Someone's getting beat to death out
deer
there.
pain outside of the Main Street Studio.
Someone got ran over, apparently.
To the point, like, it is brutal as far as, the physical requirements of these guys.
Yeah, and the cocaine and steroids in the 80s didn't
pills
help.
and everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, and it was a lot worse then.
Yeah,
the 80s, 90s.
BB's talking about the wellness program they've been stealing.
No, they were. I don't know the steroids.
I like how BB's buying into it. They're really worried about the talent.
No.
I don't know, man. You saw that guy Pat McAfee wrestle. He's not on steroids.
Yeah, no, these guys were on the road 300 days a week. A lot of times they'd wrestle in 2 spots in the same night. Yeah. They'd wrestle a day, a match during the day, then drive to go to a match that night. The travel is not as demanding now, even pre-COVID. With TV, 3 times a week, it's not as demanding. They don't do as many house shows. It's still more demanding than we could probably imagine. Yeah. But
now, Bill, let me ask you: you were a big tag team fan back in the day, and the Road Warriors, they weren't just WWE; they're NWA, WCW,
yeah, they've
AWA.
kind of been through the ring.
Are the Road Warriors one of your favorites of all time, or is it a different team that you prefer?
I'd say that as far as favorite tag teams, I'd put them, if not top 5, pretty close. I mean, historically, I think they have to be one of the 5 best considered one of the 5 best tag
especially
teams
with their gimmick. Their gimmick is amazing. The way that
they even copied them with Demolition. I mean, let's be honest. Demolition was a cheap rip-off.
They revolutionized.
I did like Demolition, but what?
They really revolutionized tag team wrestling. And you didn't have the big the power team with the gimmick and the look and whatnot. That was the back pre-Legion of Doom WWF, later WWE days, in NWA, AWA, and various other places around the country, Japan and otherwise, they would just come down to the ring, destroy people for a couple minutes, do that doomsday device, get the pin, and leave.
Yeah, they were essentially.
But I think they were like tough guys in real life. From
I
was watching.
Yeah,
I think they were like bouncers, is how they initially got into the league and everything like that. So
it was real to them.
Yeah, it's real crazy.
I wasn't a big WCW guy, but the one tag team feud I did like was Road Warriors and the Steiner brothers wrestling each other. Those were some pretty good matches because the Road Warriors actually wrestled them. They didn't just come down and do the BB squash match. They actually had to wrestle against them.
A little back and forth.
Yeah, a little back and forth. So, and now also sad news. This is a little before my time, but Gale Sayers, the famous running back, Brian Song, he also passed away at 77. I did not catch what he died from. I don't think it was COVID, but who knows?
But now the question is to BV, being the Chicagoland resident, is there anything kind of going out that way in Chicago or anything like that? Have you heard? You're still listening to mostly the national sports talk and everything.
Yeah, I mean he's an icon in Chicago, so I think particularly older sports fans are affected. He really didn't have a very long career. I think only played 6 seasons in the NFL because of his knee troubles. But I'm a very adamant watcher of old school NFL films and whatnot. I've seen a lot of footage of this guy, and he pretty much a slightly different style runner, but as far as like highlight film stuff, he's kind of like Barry Sanders before Barry Sanders. It's like watching a video game. Some of the videos that I've seen of him. So let's put it this way: he was talented enough that he had a very short career and still made the Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. So.
Well, now, can you do me a favor, BB? Can you explain to the rest of the NFL what a running back is? Because I don't think the league is aware of this position. I think they've given up, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
everything's by committee.
I don't
now.
understand it, but
running back by committee. Yeah. So now we're gonna go into the current NFL because now that we looked at the past and how it's passing away, the current one, there is a ton of injuries, and the number one team I saw, San Francisco, is getting
San Francisco
pounded.
got so injured that they blamed the turf in the stadium
Yeah.
for so like they had to bring in the NFLPA to go through the turf and
San
stuff.
Francisco having such bad luck, so they got so many people hurt that they didn't go back to the West Coast because they got another East Coast game this week. They went somewhere in Virginia. They hired a medical van that was supposed to come and do MRIs to them. The van broke down on the way to them. I thought it was on the news the other day. They can't catch a break. So I think Bosa's out. Jimmy Garofalo was knocked out. Kittle's been out. Their running back got knocked out. I mean, they lost probably half their team just playing the Jets of all teams.
Yeah.
And almost their entire defensive line's hurt now.
Yeah, so for them to repeat in the NFC is going to be really hard unless they all get healthy late and just go on a run. Oh, and also Richard Sherman's
Unless
been
they
hurt.
take the needle from the same doctor that Tyrod.
They're all going to puncture lungs.
Yeah. Dude, he's a really stellar doctor there.
Richard Sherman's on reserve now, which is, I think they changed the rule on that this year. So when they put you on IR, and you know how it went from being the whole season to being, I think, something like 8 weeks. Now I think it's a minimum of 3 weeks. So it won't be quite the same. People getting put on IR. It'll be kind of more misleading this year than it has been in the past. But
And San Francisco's
I
not
think
the
he's on.
only team, but they've gotten hit in the worst that I've seen. And the Giants, poor Saquon. First off,
we
he's
talked about
stuck on such a
he's got
turd
the whole
sandwich of a team.
and now
he's gone
he
for the
went and
year.
popped an injury. Was it ACL, MCL?
Yes,
thing?
yeah. So he's done.
Knees, man, knees.
I was watching that when it happened, and it was bad.
You were watching the Giants and the Bears?
Well, yeah.
That's what
Well,
they probably got locally.
Because last week that was the only game being shown at the noon time slot.
Bill was itching for that Sunday ticket. He's like,
Well,
I need to buy that.
Funny you mention that, because by halftime I caved, reinstated the Sunday ticket, and watched other games.
That's funny.
Dude, the NFL forced Sunday ticket to BB's house.
Yeah,
Well, I also didn't realize that they were I didn't notice that they were showing the what game was that? The Chiefs and Chargers at the 4:00 slot. So I thought going into it by halftime, I'm like, I'm going to get this, and then the only game at 4:00 is Washington and the Cardinals. I was like, I'm not sitting through as much as I really didn't want to pay for Sunday ticket. I don't think it's really worth the money. The idea of sitting through bad Bears games and some other crappy West Coast game, and that's all the options I have.
Bill dialed them up.
Seriously, you want to talk about depressed?
How quick did they get it to you?
Shoot myself.
How quick was the turnaround? So, like, did you have it, like, real quick? Like, did it automatically update your account real quick?
Well, it was weird. I did it on the online account, and for whatever reason, it didn't take. So I go on. I'm like, what the hell's going on? The channels aren't coming on. And then I put the Buffalo game on, and it came on for like a couple minutes. But then it suddenly gave me a hard time. So then I check it again, and it was coming on. I tried to order it through the TV, and it reads, that, well, the games, once the game goes past a certain point, they won't really let you order it because they don't want you to feel like you're getting screwed or whatever. So once the game's past a certain point, you can't order that game anymore. So I had been to call DirecTV and wait on hold for about 10
The NFL forced him to, like, wait on hold for 10 minutes and everything.
Yeah, so but once we got him on the phone and got it settled, it was they sent a signal and it was on immediately.
Cool.
So he caved. And that's that for that. So also, we always like to cover this because we didn't get to talk about it last week. The Thursday night game, and it was a barn burner. Jacksonville versus Miami. Anyone here watch it?
Thursday night's not for me. BV, did you catch it?
Unfortunately, yeah, I watched it.
What was the final score? Was it 35-13 or something? Or it wasn't close. 31.
I think it was 34-13, but I'm not 100% sure. It was pretty much crap.
I saw a great headline. Fitzmagic is not fixed tragic yet. So they're all...
It's like he does it just to annoy you. It's so funny.
I've always said that. He's got 3 or 4 games in him. And then a turd sandwich is coming. We all know that. So Ryan Fitzpatrick went crazy on the Jaguars. He threw for 2, and then he ran another one in.
Because he said he heard your pick that they were going to be decent this year.
Yeah. Well, I know. I didn't say Jacksonville was decent this year.
I thought you did.
That was last year.
Jacksonville made it real easy for him, too.
Why is that?
That was because they just look like total and complete crap. It was 31-13 was the final score, but
okay.
No, they just completely crapped the bed.
So Jacksonville went back to normal instead of playing good for the 2 weeks they had. So
yeah, the stash, the power of the stash is already dead.
Power of the stash lost to the power of the beard. So it will be fun to watch Miami until he turns into Fitztragic, and then David Tua will be out on the field after that.
David Tua?
Or not David Tua. Tua Tagovailoa.
Former boxer, David Tua?
Yeah. Sorry.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, that's his name. Tua. Anyway, we'll just say Tua. So there you go. As a recap of Thursday night game, as you can tell, none of us watched it. None of us cared. I mean, it's just how did they thought that was a good matchup? Well, first they gave you Bengals Browns, and then they gave you this one. I mean, that's those two bad ones. I'm not regretting not having.
Unless Pittsburgh's playing, I'm not watching those Thursday night games. I do it all the time. I just don't. I can't do it. I got bedtimes.
He's like, I got time to go. So let's go to the world of hockey, and they are still in the Stanley Cup. Anyone watch this? Crickets. So this went into overtime last night at Game 4, and Tampa Bay won 5-4 on a power play goal. The little controversy that I feel it shouldn't have been a power play. I think a lot of people are bitching, but they're up on the series, 3-1 over Dallas. Might have to put a fork in Dallas, but you never know. I mean, as you can tell by the basketball, Denver's been down 3-1 twice now and came back. But it's not looking good right now for Dallas. So they might be wrapping up in a couple days. I think the next game would be tomorrow, maybe. So we'll see on that one. And Charles is on the edge of his seat and can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
Bill, any interest in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
None whatsoever.
All right.
Glad they tuned in for our recap of that.
Yeah, I know. I got to update this Miami-Boston. Boston won last night. So then we go into the world of NBA basketball, where the UFC players or fighters are kind of calling out somebody. LA looks to be in control of Denver, but now everyone remember, Denver's been down 3-1 twice. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to rebound on this one. There's no way they do it 3 times, right? I mean, it should be interesting, but it'd be funny as hell if they did it, but it's not looking good for the Denver Nuggets. It looks like the Lakers are punching their ticket. And Miami could not put Boston away. Boston outscored Miami in the second half, 70-50. I did see the highlights there. And they lose the game, so they're up 3-2 on Boston. A lot of people feel Boston's way more talented, but they just keep choking away games.
They're having some issues internally.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. That's probably the only close one left out of all the current sports. Now, when this is over, how quick is the NBA and NHL coming back? Are they going to come back in December?
I don't know.
Just take a couple months off? I don't know either. So that's a look at all the sports that none of us know anything about. I don't know. And I don't know. You think Tampa Bay is probably going to finish off Dallas. Lakers are probably going to win and then finish off whoever they get in the East. Dedicate to Kobe.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw I saw the game last night with the Heat and Celtics, and it seemed like because they were down early, the Celtics were, and something must have, I don't know what happened, but they flipped a switch and suddenly they looked like the good Boston again. So I would say Miami would be very, very wise to win Game 6 because I don't think they want to see Game 7.
Yeah. Now, there is one more NBA note. Mr. Charles Barkley, familiar with his work?
Yes.
And Mr. Shaquille O'Neal are under big fire.
Yes.
Because the Breonna Taylor statements they had.
Yeah.
They made a crack that, the boyfriend did shoot a cop, and people did not like that. so
they come to Charles Barkley for that truth-spoken kind of,
I'm just saying they are under immense fire right now.
You can bet Barkley doesn't care.
Well, yeah, he probably doesn't. He probably don't give 2 shits, but
and that's why I think that's his shtick. Is he just like you said, like he is who he is, and he's going to tell you what he thinks. And
yeah, I just thought it was funny that
But that's going to be kind of my take on as you're going to talk about Colby Covington later and stuff like that, and the pugilism stuff. He can basically call LeBron James a pussy because if LeBron James steps to him, he can whoop his ass. Yeah. So it must be nice to have that feeling.
That's true.
He's one of the few people in the world that doesn't need to have LeBron James like him. It's kind of crazy.
That is true.
Yeah, he can look you right in the face, LeBron. You could say he can wrap you up like a pretzel in 2 seconds.
So there's a look at the NBA and the NHL. And now, right now, we got a taste test, Bill. And did you get these, Bill?
I have them.
And we are talking about the Spicy McNuggets. And Bill's crunching away at it. I don't know what's
I'm
happening.
opening the bag and I'm pulling them out of the bag.
That was so
The
loud.
loudest bag I've ever heard.
It's right
We
next to
did
the
not
mic.
get the sauce. They didn't have the sauce at the.
Yeah, they were out of the sauce here too.
Yeah.
So there's a specific spicy sauce. that
Yes,
goes with
there's
them?
a mighty spicy sauce. It's called.
I like back in the day. I liked the
If anyone could see
Yeah,
these.
you're on live to one there.
Now, full disclosure, Holly's already tried these, and she is the McNugget master in my family.
I gotta tell you, and like we talked about pre-show, I love an OG chicken nugget. I also love an OG chicken nugget that sat out a little while and got a little older. I do like an older nugget.
Remember the old school overheld nuggets and overheld double cheeseburgers?
Yeah, they're super good, dude. I don't care what anyone says. Steve's not messing around. He went straight to the head with his nugget. Steve needs to try.
Got a little heat.
No?
More heat than I anticipated.
You think this has got heat?
A little, I mean, none?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Have you had Wendy's spicy nuggets?
Yeah.
This is about half as hot as Wendy's spicy nuggets.
Oh.
I think it tastes pretty good. It's just not very hot.
I just think I prefer.
Maybe I got an extra spicy piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Mine was
I think I prefer McDonald's breading and stuff. I just like a chicken nugget. I don't know how, like that weird Wendy's breading where it's like super crumbly, kind of like breadcrumby. This breading is just the best. I love an OG chicken nugget for that reason.
I like them. I think they're good.
I'm not picking up on much spice though. I know you said you got the heat and stuff like that.
No.
BB's a Foley artist today.
Making noises all over the place.
Would you order this over a regular nug?
Yes.
Okay. You
Any
prefer
chicken
spicy.
sandwich, I always pick the spicy chicken sandwich. Popeyes, Wendy's, anywhere. So here, if they keep these, I very rarely
Are they
order.
a limited thing, I wonder?
Probably. It's a McDonald's. But I rarely order nuggets, though. So I'm not the guy to go to. Holly is on the record saying she would rather have the Wendy's one.
I think I'd take this.
Hey, you want to say these two for Heather? Let her try them?
Yeah.
Maybe I should have got 20 piece, huh?
Yeah.
I only got
I give
10.
a big thumbs up to all things chicken nugget. I'm a little skewed. Like I said,
Now
it's
you got a
my nugget of
choice. You want spicy or regular? Which one you getting?
I mean, I'd always go, as I talk with a full mouth, and I always go spicy, much like you said. If you got the option, like Wendy's and all that kind of stuff, take the spicy option. A little flavor in your life.
Bill, what are your thoughts?
I think it's good. I am an old school McDonald's nugget lover as well. I
I always
probably
knew that about you, BB.
Nuzzle up on these nugs.
I think I'd probably mix it up. I wouldn't order one over the other all the time. Sometimes I get spicy, sometimes I get regular.
Bill's like,
Maybe sometimes I
don't
get
know. Just
both.
take a handful of both, throw it in there, and shake the box up. Give me 10 spicy, 10 regular, in one box. Shake it up.
Yeah, shake it up.
Yeah, why
The
not?
BV mix. It's a remix version of it.
Now, eventually, one of us is going to have to try the hot sauce. Unfortunately, seems like the hot sauce must be the winner because if it's out in Chicago and here, it must be pretty good hot sauce.
Same price as the regular OG nuggies?
Yeah. You get so it's like if you order number 6, which is the 10-piece nugget,
Uh-huh.
you just choose which one you want, not spicy or regular.
okay. So you just do
It's, that's how they're choosing. And Wendy's does the same thing.
I gotta tell you, I have such an affinity for a Wendy's spicy chicken. It is
It's
one
the
of
best. It's the best spicy.
It
chicken.
is so good, and it trumps anything from Chick-fil-A. I don't care what anyone says.
No.
A OG Wendy's spicy chicken is one of the best chicken sandwiches on the planet for me.
100% agree.
With a piece of cheese on it, though. I always get cheese.
Yeah,
on it.
you
yeah.
gotta, I like the Asiago one. They got like it comes with a little
Yeah.
bit of. It's got lettuce and tomato and stuff.
I always
on it.
get onions and cheese on mine. It comes with lettuce, tomato automatically. And I'm like, throw some onions and cheese on there.
okay.
That's what I always do.
Nonetheless,
Even though they
man.
charge me like $1.25 for that piece
Like
of
I
cheese.
think I would take that Wendy's spicy chicken over the Popeyes chicken sandwich, over the Chick-fil-A. It is that good to me, man. And it's always that bigger Boomba chicken patty too. It's just delicious, man. I don't know.
Boomba. Now, I tell you one thing I'll fucking throw down on when McDonald's gets them is those Mighty Wings. I love those goddamn Mighty Wings.
You always had.
I don't know why. I'll be like, give me 20 of them Mighty Wings.
Are you a McRib guy?
Here and there. It just came back a couple months ago. I didn't get one. Yeah. You know who really is, though, is my mother-in-law.
Oh, yeah?
Every time it comes out, she'll send Tab or someone to go get her a meal.
Give me that McRib.
She'll eat it at least once a month until it's gone.
He just puked on the mic.
Yeah, I know. Little spicy Doug came up there.
BB, are you a McRib guy? What's the OG thing for
No,
BB?
you know what? If I can't make the McRib in store and make it my way, then no, I'm not.
What's BB's
Not running out
way? Curious.
buying-
3 patties.
Not to mention, I don't like them.
Patty, onions, patty, pickle.
I don't eat them. Onions are nasty.
Oh, sorry.
What is a BV way of making the McRib?
Well, it's not that I make it some sort of crazy way. It's just that I always like them better when I can pull them out of the holder and kind of make sure it's the way I want it and make it.
I don't think I ever worked at a McDonald's when they had the McRib. Did you guys? So you've worked at a McDonald's with the
Yeah,
McRib?
you put it's like those metal tins that you had lettuce in.
You soak it
You
in
put it
there.
on that one grill, and then you put this. You cook the ribs on a flat top.
So you
like-
grill off the patties and then chuck them in the sauce.
Yeah, and then you just leave them soaking in that pot all day long
Oh,
until
God.
some asshole orders it. You take some tongs, throw it on there.
Oh man.
They had the special buns. You put a little onion, little pickles, and then slap that on there and good to go.
It was still a regular menu item when we started working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
For that matter, so was the McDLT.
Yeah, that's how old we are.
When did they change the pancakes at McDonald's? Were either you two working?
They
there?
were still making fresh when I left.
Yeah, were they? Yeah.
They had the machine. They pressed.
Yeah,
You know.
and they had the griddle off to the one side.
Yeah,
You made
yeah.
it specific.
I didn't know they'd ever stopped.
Yeah,
They don't
they
make 'em
come
in-house,
frozen now.
yeah.
They just heat them up and hand them to you.
Oh, I haven't had McDonald's hotcakes in
Years,
at least
me either.
10 or 15 years.
That's
so.
Michelle's breakfast is the McDonald's big breakfast with the hotcakes, the scrambled egg.
I hate that.
She
Those
gets that all
scrambled
the
eggs
time.
are so rubbery from there.
Because it was sitting in the
Do
big
you remember
forever.
that stupid container?
Yeah.
To make it with?
Come in some scrambled, put the 4 eggs in there.
And just start cracking it around.
Yeah.
What's a 4? You put the egg product in there, son. What are you doing, man? So terrible.
So, scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving the spicy McNugget?
For you throwing it to me, I'd give it like an 8.
Yeah.
But like I said, like in my nugget echelon or whatever pantheon of my nuggets, I love an OG chicken nugget.
It's 8. Wow. See, I give it like probably a 7, and then the Wendy's. I still like the Wendy's spicy nugget better. BV.
I don't like that crust. The crust is where they lose me.
Oh, okay.
I'd give it about a 7.
Yeah.
I still, if I had to pick between the two, I'd take the McDonald's nugget or spicy nugget over the Wendy's for 2 reasons. One, to Charles' point, the breading is so much better, and 2, the Wendy's nuggets tend to be on the small side. But if I had
to give you
to
like 60 for a buck.
but if I had to choose between the spicy and the regular for McDonald's, I think I'd choose the regular.
So hold on, if you could order one thing, if you can only order one thing for the rest of your life from McDonald's, what's it going to be?
Quarter pounder cheese.
Quarter pounder cheese. OG. Don't touch it. Don't do nothing.
Mustard, ketchup, onions, pickle. That's all I need.
Keep it that way. Quarter pounder cheese.
Quarter pounder cheese.
BB?
Not even a double quarter. Because a double quarter is too much grease.
Yeah,
it soaks
the
up that
bun to
bun.
meat ratio's
Yeah,
off on
yeah.
a
The
double
regular
quarter.
quarter. Now it could
I
be
completely
3/4
agree.
pounds of cheese, but
Yeah. But you need that bun to meat
Yeah,
ratio.
yeah, yeah.
BB, you get one McDonald item for the rest of your life. What do you got?
Triple cheeseburger.
Oh man, that's
they still make those? I
Yeah,
didn't know
I
they
don't
made
know.
those.
That's a good one.
You can still get them.
I remember Cecil Fielder promoting the shit out of those.
And I might take an OG nug. I love OG chicken. Like to
Wow.
this day, I still will like. Me and Heather will like, you want some chicken nuggets? Roll through there, get some chicken nuggets, dude. Chicken
The
nuggets.
late night fatty snack.
Yeah,
Is that what
dude,
you're
it's
saying?
just, I love a 20-piece with some barbecue sauce.
See, I don't even get 20. I get like a little 4 or 6 on the side every once in a while, but
It's a rarity that we do it, but man, like I said, it's got me. The OG nugs, man.
quarter pounder cheese so good.
Welcome to the Fat Guys in the Little Podcast.
I don't know what it is because with the lettuce and tomato and all that on the quarter pounder, just throws it off. It's just
Did you try the Travis Scott one?
No, I hear
one-
it's like selling out or
Yeah,
something
crazy.
weird about that one. I don't know what's going on there. All right, so now we got to talk about. But I tell you what, though, They get them goddamn Mighty Wings. That's 10. Fucking 10. I'm eating the shit out of them.
Do they have flavors on the Mighty Wings? Or they just...
No, it's just fucking spicy. They're a little bit spicy. And they eat them. Oh, I fucking love them Mighty Wings. And then you get the little ranch package. You fucking dip it in the ranch. Oh, man, that's good shit right there.
BB, you like the Mighty Wings, too?
I never really had much of the Mighty Wings. I used to go. I'm all about the, as you like to say, the OG hot wings from KFC.
Yeah, but those are smaller.
But I don't think they make them anymore.
Yeah, and the
not the same way. It's different.
Yeah, the KFC ones are tiny, and where the Mighty Wing had a little bit more meat to them, they're a little bigger.
Well, yeah, but you got 3 or 4 of them for like $8.
Oh man,
I'll eat them. But I don't. I think they're gone because they didn't even have them this summer that I'm aware of. So. I don't think they have any more money. Won't pour one out for the Mighty Wings. All right, let's go into some reviews of some games and some shows we saw this week. First up, Yellowstone. I finished season 3. We were too impatient.
I got an issue. That show has hit a. You're not the only one. That show's hit a major renaissance on the Peacock thing. So they've had to come out and talk about like how the streaming rights and all this kind of stuff. You're not the only one discovering this show on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the Peacock.
Well, on the
I
Peacock,
think it's the gem of that service.
There's nothing else on that service. You get it, watch those 2 seasons, and cancel the shit out of it. So we got impatient and paid the $20 to Amazon to get season 3. That's how impatient we got.
Wow, Michelle was way into it.
Yeah,
man.
she was really into it. I gotta admit, I'm into it. I mean, it's just a little too much drama. You can't believe that this many people are after land in Montana. But I mean, you suspend disbelief and whatever, and just enjoy the show.
For the ride.
They did. Season 3 was eight episodes or 9 episodes. They did the traditional cliffhanger ending though. So they're at war with this big conglomerate with the guy from Lost, the blonde-haired guy from Lost.
Yeah, Sawyer or whatever.
Yeah, he finally showed up in this season because people have asked me if he's on the show.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's in the first 2 seasons. He's not on. He's in this one. Okay. So
he's their addition on the new season.
Yeah, and he's the villain pretty much. Him and this other black girl that's working with him. They're part of some billion-dollar corporation that's going to buy a chunk of Kevin Costner's land and put an airfield in the middle of it. Where he doesn't like that, he doesn't want to sell, but blah, 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 blah. So they go to war with him. And at the end of it, they kill everybody's ass. Kevin Costner's family. And they leave it for a cliffhanger. Like the one girl blows. Spoilers, sorry. No. The one girl blows up. The other guys come in with armed weapons. And Kevin Costner gets shot helping someone change a tire. And then they pull like a soprano. It goes to black. You don't know. And then season 4 isn't coming for another year. Oh. So you're stuck with that cliffhanger for a year. That kind of sucks.
Sounds like you two really like it, though.
Yeah, I do. The only thing I will say is you can see it pivoted far as violence and nudity. So the violence is still pretty much there, but like when they shoot something now, it's kind of like you hear the bang, you don't see anything. So it's gone from
a little more mainstream.
Yeah, it was HBO level that first season. Now I would say it's like AMC level now, where you get occasional cuss word and some Walking Dead type violence, but nothing. Now I'd watch it with Hollywood, no problem. But the first season you probably wouldn't watch with your kid. So that is, if I'm going to give one negative, that's probably it. And, of course, the trope of the cliffhanger, and season-ending cliffhanger. It's like how many times we've seen that.
Yeah, but TV shows do that.
Yeah,
you're not going to get away with that, really.
So,
there's no way to.
So no Brock Meyer here yet. It's still good.
So give the series as a whole, all 3 seasons, give it a number 1 to 10. Kevin Costner's Yellowstone on the Paramount Network.
I give it a solid 8.
Oh, wow. That's
I like
high
the
praise.
show.
Does it crack like the top 20 of favorite TV shows at this point for you?
I think so. I mean, I don't have a huge list of TV shows that I love.
But nonetheless, you're into
I like Sopranos, Breaking Bad.
Will you watch season
Ozarks,
4 like day 1 when it comes out? Like as it comes, you're definitely
if I can find the Paramount Network.
DVR that.
Yeah, I'm going to DVR it this time. I got to find that before season 4
and it's
comes
one of those
out.
shows that you and Michelle are going to watch like as soon as you see it on there.
And the other thing it kind of does that I know you kind of like, it gives you a little bird's eye view of that kind of life, like the rancher life and how fucking cowboys
feels
and
real
stuff
kind of thing. Yeah.
So you're like, they're already up at 5 a.m. on a horse. There's a lot of that too, where they're doing, and it shows you how they got to run cattle on their land, but then they got to put camp sites up on the summer to keep the cattle. They can't.
You're learning shit about ranching.
Yeah, and I guess clover. Those they kill cattle if they eat it.
Whoa.
So that's how they sabotage one of the seasons. So a rival
the
throws.
things you've learned.
Yeah, I learned
Yeah.
all this crap about fucking cattle. Who the hell knew? So it is a nice peek into that kind of world. So good show so far. We'll see if it maintains. There's a couple annoying characters, always the female character with the morals. It's like, but that's what's nice about his daughter. She has no morals. She's a straight killer. She's gonna do what she wants. But the other female characters are like, I don't know what we should be doing. Get the hell out of here, But pretty good so far. No Brockmeyer yet. It hasn't gone Brockmeyer. Every show now for me is it gonna go Brockmeyer? I don't know if it's gonna go Brockmeyer.
What are you guys gonna move on to after you guys caught up with Yellowstone? What's
there's 2 shows we're looking at.
You're vetting your shows.
This kind of goes into my animation show. So last week I wanted to work on my model in the basement, and I have a TV in the basement, but I don't have no cable running to it. So I just have
your Plex thing, right?
Yeah, I have Plex and a computer connected to it. So I was going to go to CBS.com and just stream the Chargers and Chiefs game while I'm in the basement doing my model. Well, apparently CBS doesn't do that. You have to sign up for CBS All Access. For the record, Fox does and NBC does. CBS does not. So I said, all right, screw it. I signed up for CBS All Access for free 7 days. I'm the king of the 7-day trial.
You love a trial.
So I got that so I could watch the game. Watch that.
Did you cancel the Peacock, by the way?
Yes. I canceled before they ever charged me anything. So
Steve always.
Well, I have a calendar, a Google Calendar, and I literally put me a reminder note like the day of or the day before.
Well, what I like about a lot of these services too is they'll let you cancel it and then still get through your period. So you can cancel day one of a 30-month thing, and then it'll let you go out. Through
Very few do the 30-month,
30-day. 30-day. I'm sorry.
A lot of them do 7-day now.
Yeah, no, I know, but
so you got to think to yourself, can I crack through this in 7 days? So what's on there though, while my trial is still, is the Star Trek Picard. And I was thinking, me and Michelle were thinking maybe trying that. But I know what kind of landmine Star Treks can be. So we're going to give it 1 or 2 episodes. And next week, I will tell you if it was terrible or not. Because I sat through Star Trek Discovery, and that was terrible. So I don't know if Picard's going to be any better. But also at least
is
do my
Discovery one the one
with
with Poussey in it?
Yes.
No. From the Orange is the New Black.
No, she's not in that.
What's the one she left to do a Star Trek show, though, right?
She might be in Picard. Star Trek Discovery is the black girl from Walking Dead. It's not Poussey. It's some other girl.
Okay.
They look alike, but the one from the AMC Walking Dead is bigger and taller.
Okay, I could be wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Poussey is not in it. Poussey, or one of the Orange is the New Black girls, showed up in The Boys. Yesterday's episode, but I said I'm waiting
trickling into that, huh?
Yeah, so all these streaming services.
They're talking about spinoffs for that too. I saw that.
Yeah, that's a little annoying, but you gotta beat that dead horse. Yeah. So there you go. Yellowstone, still quality. Hoping it stays that way. I have a feeling it's the only hit for Paramount, so they're going to crack out 10 seasons after the 5th season.
Hold on. There's Ink Masters on Paramount. There's Bar Rescue on Paramount. I watched the Paramount Network.
And there's Lip Sync Battle. Yeah, they're changing the Paramount Network. It's going to be the Paramount Movie Channel, and they're going to keep Yellowstone, but they're going to keep it. They're going to keep it that cinematic look to Yellowstone, where it's got the black, and then they're going to focus more on made-for-TV movies.
Okay. What does that mean for Ink Masters? I wonder.
They might scrap their other shows.
Oh,
or sell them to other stations.
I love that show.
Yeah, so they don't know yet, but they're going to be primarily focused on Hallmark type.
I hate when
movies.
they do that shit.
That station has changed identity 14 times. You know that.
I love Bar Rescue. It's like Hell's Kitchen kind of thing. I love it.
Well, don't get too love
Kitchen Confidential or whatever. Kitchen Nightmares. That's the word.
So to go with Yellowstone this week, I played a new game on Xbox Game Pass. And Bill found the picture of it. It's Jim. Listen to this title. This is the title in front of it. Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance Tactics. That's a short
Rolls
title.
Right off the tongue.
Yeah, I mean it's easy. It's just like Halo. I mean, So I played this game this week. It's free on Xbox Game Pass if you have Game Pass on Xbox or PC. You can also buy it on Switch and PS4 at about $20. And I'll tell you right now, $20 is all it's worth. Do not pay more than $20. Okay. This screams of a game that felt like it was supposed to be mobile, and then the Xbox or someone came along, offered him some money to buy it, and they decided, all right, we'll put it on consoles because that's really what it feels like.
It's a mobile game for consoles.
It's got mobile type graphics. You know, it's the turn-based gameplay that Gears Tactics had and Wasteland 3. All of a sudden, Game Pass, Xbox, all of a sudden, we got enough shooters. We need some turn-based strategy games. We don't have enough of those. There's been 3 of them this year. So this is the third one. This one slipped under the radar a little bit.
You had told me midweek, and I had never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy with all the video game podcasts stuff I listened to. I didn't hear none of this.
And it should have been released last year when the series came out because the storyline in the game is that storyline from the Netflix series. The same storyline.
When did it drop?
Just this past week or week
so
and a half
when
ago.
it showed up on Game Pass, it wasn't an older game. They
Maybe
put on?
2 weeks ago it showed up. So, like I said, it's a turn-based game. Straightforward. It's not very hard. Turn-based is where you move your guy, and then almost like a board game. You go, I go. Yep.
That's the.
And there's no
it's
multiplayer.
Not real time where I'm going while you're going. And
Yeah. It's not like Command and Conquer or anything like that. It's more like a board game almost. You move your piece, then they move their piece, and blah blah blah. And it's got your typical soldier, wizard, thief type characters. The problem with this is Dark Crystal. You're those gelflings or elflings. And they all kind of look alike, so it's kind of hard.
There's different colors, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but so there's been times where I was clicking on the enemy and it wasn't my character. I'm like, oh, sorry, because you don't fight just the Skeksis or whatever the hell their name is. Skeksis. You fight other gelflings. You fight all kinds of different
because
things.
in that show, there's like a warring faction.
Yeah. So, and that follows all that, and you got to unite the clans and then fight the Skeksis at the end of it. The number one thing that Steve always hates if you're going to do role playing is when you don't have animation or cuts and it's just the typed out text. And this game oozes
It's got to be a cell phone game.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was. It had to have been. And you would pay $20 or you'd pay a couple bucks to get the extra gear and stuff, and they switched it to it. So that's number one. I'm like, oh my God.
Geez.
I was straight back to 1998.
Yeah, wow.
So I know this isn't a glowing review, but you can catch some of the gameplay on Twitter or on
Twitch channel.
Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. I put up some gameplay on it. I mean, it's not a terrible game. This is the classic Steve 6 more than anything. I wouldn't personally go out and buy it, but if it's free on Game Pass and if you love everything Dark Crystal and you love everything turn-based.
Turn-based. There's a lot of people that love a turn-based strategy game.
The problem with that
is
is,
though, be
though,
a big thing.
On that same service of Game Pass, there's a much better turn-based game called Gears Tactics, which is way better than this
But
game.
if you're a turn-based guy and you got through that one and you're kind of digging around,
then this is out there for you. Or even then, I'd still say go to Wasteland. But
so this is 3 on the list.
It's number 3 on the list. There might be some more out there.
Way into turn-based strategy.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. And then the other thing, like, it's the cutscenes. Even they're typed out with still images. Couldn't you just use some clips from the show? Because it's following that story.
Tie it in.
Yeah, but they didn't do that either. So it feels like a rushed mess
cut corners,
that was supposed to be mobile and got switched over. So 6 out of 10. It's probably right on there with the regular Netflix movies. Just kind of So next up, this starts my trip, my COVID trip here. Okay, Charles, you know I'm itching. I got hit that vein. I love the theater.
Yes, we're well aware.
Notre Dame.
You go round and round about it.
Yes. We like to send each other articles and yell at each other. He's not dead yet. Yeah. So I bought 2 tickets for the movie Tenet, is how you call it.
Steve remembered it so well he had to look up the name just now.
And it was in Toledo, the Toledo Mall. So me and Michelle made a day out of it. Went down there. First off, I want to tell you about the theater. You walk in, you don't touch or see anybody. There's one girl at the ticket booth, one girl at this concession.
I was going to say, is there concessions?
Yeah, there is, yeah. And there's glass in front, plexiglass. Plexiglass is going to save the world.
Yeah.
So you walk over either with your phone or I print out the ticket all the time because I don't trust my wife when I go into play. You scan it, she gives you slides the 2 tickets under the plexiglass. You take them.
She used a stick to push
then
it.
Before you get to the concession, there's a guy in a booth with plastic all around him. He scans your ticket through the glass. So he goes, okay, theater 8 down there. And of course, I'm greedy, so I wanted a beverage and some popcorn.
What's a 55-ounce Diet Pepsi?
I got Diet Coke, the Cinemark's Diet Coke. So that was $8. So $8 in tickets, $8 in concessions, $16. cheaper than $20 for the video on demand. Just say it.
Okay,
Just say it. Just say it.
Factor in your gasoline.
All right. Well,
You drove
okay.
to another state to watch a movie.
It's 40 minutes away, so I'll give you $4 and gas about $20. So I had the same price.
And at least you have to sit near strangers. But.
Yeah. So when you get in, they have the row in front of you is gone. There's red rope on it. The row behind you is
Every
gone.
other kind of thing?
And when you buy the tickets, we did it online. It automatically X's out the 2 tickets to 2 seats to your right, 2 seats to your left. So you have no one near you. It was
How is they? How? And again, we break each other's balls about this topic all the time. But how is this going to be physically or fiscally possible?
I don't know.
That these theaters stay in business.
Now this
I
is a
don't
1
know.
p.m. on a Saturday. I know everything gets busier at night. You
Yeah,
and
but
you and Heather are
to
more
your
of a night
point, when
movie
you
person than
start-
I am.
When you start slamming out all these seats, what are you going to do?
I don't know. So besides the 2 of us, there was 8 other people. There was 4 here. There was 2 here and 2 way in the back. No one was within 10 feet of me. So that was great. They said while you eat, you don't have to wear the mask. So I was shoving popcorn in my face the whole time. And even after that, I left the mask off. No one's near me. And
Pitch
no one,
black, yeah.
Yeah, and no one was coming in to see. If someone came in, I'd be like, oh, sorry. But no one did. Michelle sat with the mask on the whole time. I was like, that took mine off. And now let's get to the movie. That was the experience with the COVID. I imagine Michigan's going to be pretty similar. I don't see myself going back
Oh man.
till November 20th when James
So
Bond comes
how
back.
big do you think a theater is? Like
Well, this one easily held 200 people. It was a big
200
theater.
people, but
I mean,
they-
it was a big
By
theater.
the time you get down to the eliminations that you're talking about, you're probably
You're
gonna
at
be able-
100, and then half that, probably 50.
Yeah, 50 people out of that big theater, man. There's no way.
Because Michelle
that
said that,
that's-
go, how's this making money? I mean, they got the air conditioning, got the lights in
Yeah,
there.
it just doesn't
You're
add
paying the
up.
3 or 4 people working here? I have no idea.
I'll be curious to see because, like, long term,
You
man,
may win the argument because they're just going to go bankrupt.
like, we can't. It's just not possible.
So that's the COVID experience at a theater right now. I'll be honest, I love it. There's no way they can maintain it, but I love it.
That's not your problem.
Yeah, that's not my problem. It's just like when I love going to going to the restaurant and nobody's within 20 feet of me. I kind of love it right now. I'm not going to lie. I love that fact. I don't like wearing the mask, but whatever. You know, so now let's get to the movie, The Tenet. Now, you have any idea what this is about?
I know it's a Christopher Nolan movie, and it has the Denzel Washington's son in it. That's
Yes.
really my limit. It looks like
Okay.
an espionage movie.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then it's got a weird sci-fi twist to it. So you were right. John David Washington is
Who I like from Ballers.
from Ballers.
Yeah.
He's very good in it. He plays a CIA agent undercover.
He's got enough attitude. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yep.
he's very good.
I liked him a lot. And then also the glitter vampires in it, Robert Pattinson.
Which I didn't know.
He plays an MI6 guy that's undercover as well, his partner. So both of them played well together. They had a good chemistry together. I liked both of them. It was good. So it's a 3-hour movie, by the way. So the first 2 hours is an excellent spy action thriller. The opening scene. Did you see The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
That opening scene with Joker and how all that worked. It's kind of like that. So it's an opera in like Czechoslovakia somewhere, and then like people come in, and then he's part of the crew that comes in to
kinda
take
like
them out,
frantic,
and it's got that music going. And I don't know what it is about Christopher Nolan movies, but they're like, turn the sound up to 13. It only goes to 10. Put it on 13. So everything's super loud,
Yeah, cool.
explosions, great, hooks you right away, and then it goes on for 2 hours. So throughout this, these two guys. There's an evil Russian weapons dealer. Of course there is, right? And he's got a heart monitor on his wrist. And so he's got some kind of weapon where it adds, this is where the sci-fi comes in, where you use plutonium and something else, and it makes weapons that are from the future. So here, I know it's hard to explain, but so say you're in the other room, and I'm 20 minutes in the future. I shoot twice into your TV. You come back and sit down. I leave. 20 minutes later, those bullets will come back out, kill you. Actually, I don't leave. I'm still sitting here with the gun. I'll be, hey, check this out. The bullets will go through you back into the gun. So it's like this weird time manipulation thing.
Okay.
And the main villain, is putting them all on 9 nukes in Russia, the broken down Russia, and he's going to end the world.
I get you.
So their job is to stop him. Pretty straightforward. Not that bad.
The problem is the time jump in it. How do you stop someone who's essentially doing
And that's
something?
where it falls off the. So the first 2 hours, tons of action scenes, all this different stuff. There's espionage, all this. Great. The last hour, so Christopher Nolan being the cool director, I'm going to make you sit through all those action scenes again backwards.
Storytelling.
Oh, that's where it lost me. So
it's the
and then it gets
laziest form when you literally tell the same story twice from a different perspective.
Well, yeah, because
it's Westworld. It's the,
and John David Washington's character is in two spots. So in the current timeline, he's here, and the other timeline, he's here, and then also there's this giant.
He's got to somehow try and figure out.
And
how
then
to
it gets more
use the time
convoluted.
and
And then it gets more convoluted because there's these giant metal phone booths that people go inside, and when they come out the other end, they're in the past, but then they're in the future. And I was like, what? It would have been an awesome action thriller with just those two guys in it. It would have been great. But they threw in this weird sci-fi shit that got really weird, and I always bitch to you, like, why does James Bond need to be black? Or why do they need to change that? This was it was an original IP with a brand new black actor as a character that I would have seen if they made 4 movies about this. I probably would have seen them all with James Patterson as his sidekick. It was good. Robert Pattinson, sorry. It was good. But then they went into that convoluted shit, and he's like, I'm such a witty director, I'm going to make you watch it from another angle. That's what happens in this. So unless you love Inception or Interstellar, you're not going to love this either. Or you can watch it for 2 hours and then just stop, because that's the bummer.
I guess my question to you would be, having watched this movie, do you think that Denzel Washington's son, was his name, John David Washington?
John David Washington. Yeah.
John David. Do you think he's the next big star? Do you think?
I don't know if he's a big star, but I think he's a pretty solid actor, and I would watch him in other things. Yeah, I would definitely watch him in another action movie or a thriller movie.
Be like a launch pad for him to do other things.
I think so. I think so. I liked him. I thought he was good. He's just as good as Chadwick Boseman or Anthony Mackie or the other guys I've seen act. So he's not quite on the level from the guy from Green Book. What is that guy's name?
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, he's probably one of the better black actors I've seen in a long time. He's pretty close though. He's pretty good because he did comedy while in Ballers, right? Yeah. And now he's doing action and sci-fi thriller here. So he's pretty versatile, I think. So, but as it is, I give the movie a 7. It'd probably be 8 or 9 if they would have cut some of this.
Edited that weird stuff.
An extra hour of let's see this scene from a different angle, going backwards, and they got to wear gas or air masks because they're everything they're doing is in reverse, so their breathing's in reverse. So they got to wear it. It was trying to be too smart for its own good.
See, dumb it down and make
after an hour and a half, it lost Michelle. She was like, "Whatever, I'm over this." I was like, I didn't lose it that bad, but yeah, Do you like time manipulation?
I hate being. I told you before. It's my same with Westworld, with Memento. That form of storytelling.
Well, Westworld is telling you different angles. This is an actual plot device where it's.
I don't care.
It makes it even worse.
Sitting through the same movie multiple times. Something about it. My ADD kicks up, which I normally don't have, but somehow that is just the worst form of storytelling for me.
Yeah. So there you go, Tenet. Unfortunately, not the greatest movie to go back to the theater for, but I got to go back to the theater. I'm very excited. And then October 9th, I'll get to go back to a Michigan. Well, I should say November 20th because nothing else comes out until James Bond. Except, that Robert De Niro movie we saw.
And I'm hoping Quiet Place, too.
I don't know. I've heard nothing about that. I don't know when they're quiet. Anyways. All right. So there's Tenet for you. That's a solid 7. Jim Henson's a 6. And then Yellowstone's an 8. Charles, what do you got?
So I have one of the best shows on all of Netflix is making its return. The Great British Baking Show is airing live in the UK earlier in the week, and then they're putting it immediately onto Netflix. So by that Friday, you get the episode that aired on Channel 4 in the UK is already, because it is one of their most popular shows on that service, and they have to force it out that quickly. It's amazing. So again, I've talked at length about how good this show is. Steve, you can roll your eyes all you want to, but you know I'm correct. It is amazing.
Ask me how many episodes I've seen of this. 0.
You've got a lot to watch. I think they got 7 seasons on Netflix. Go ahead and watch it. Enjoy.
I'm good. Bill will watch them.
BV, you watch the Great? Have you heard of it, or do you know anyone that watches it?
I've seen, I think, about an episode and a half of it.
You're doing yourself a disservice. So anyway. In the middle of the COVID, they decided to break out an NBA bubble. They're going to actually have them in the tent all the time, and then they're staying in a house or whatever together, and then they immediately come back to the tent. They're making sure they're locking it down so that no one gets sick and all that kind of stuff. That's really interesting. The other thing that's weird this season, and I talked to Steve about it, and you'll see in my little my little lower third here that it's got a different judge, or not a judge, but like a host. They always have two quirky British comedians like host the show and kind of move it along and all this kind of stuff. And they changed up the little lady that was on it. Now they're with this bald, weird-looking alopecia guy that really makes me nuts. I can't stand the way he looks. He's not funny. He's terrible. But anyway, Great British Baking Show is back on Netflix every Friday. So make sure you set your calendar.
I was telling you pre-show, the only thing I know that weird bald guy from is the movie Bridesmaids. He played Rebel Wilson's brother. I've never seen him anywhere else. I don't know what the hell. He's not funny.
So off of that, if you happen to like the Great British Baking Show...
I don't.
The Great Pottery Throwdown exists that is made by the same people that make the Great British Baking Show. These guys are doing pottery. It's basically the same thing with pottery. And again, me, Heather, and Lorna all love it. Can't get enough of this. This is actually on HBO Max, though, not on Netflix, which is a little bit of a shocker. They just came up with season 3 because I guess the other 2 seasons were already on there, but no one knew about it. So they all popped all 3 of them. Steve's on the edge of his seat. I don't give a shit. I sat through many animation corners.
You're about to get another one.
Yeah, you can sit through this. And then the last thing I got this week is there's a show called The Long Way Up. And it's the 3rd season of a motorcycle across the country and across the globe show that Ewan McGregor stars in. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. So him and his buddy named Charlie, who he met on the set of a couple movies he did, he realizes he's really into motorcycle culture. So him and this Charlie guy started developing these shows where they had The Long Way Down, The Long Way Round, and now this is The Long Way Up. So basically they've gone on motorcycles across Europe and through Asia. They've gone from England all the way down through Africa. And now in this one, The Long Way Up, which is now shifted over to Apple TV, they go all the way from the south point of Chile and Argentina, and they're going to go all the way to Los Angeles. This show's great. Me and Heather, from someone who I'm addicted to, like, I love two-wheel vehicles after having the scoots and all that kind of stuff. This gets that itch going bad. Like, I just want to get on a two-wheel and just take off.
Do you watch the show Norman Reedus?
No, I know of it, but that's kind of similar, right? But he's kind of like walking
It's just U.S., though. I don't think he goes
Yeah,
all
but he kind of rides his bike around.
Him and the dude who plays Negan.
Oh, okay. That's
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah, the two of them.
Steve's got a big hard on for that guy.
I still don't watch that show.
I don't know. I can't get enough of it. Also, Ewan McGregor comes off as a super likable guy. He's super nice. Now, the big wrinkle this season is they're using all electrics. So the support vehicles are electric, and they're actually riding Harley-Davidson live wires, which are their electric vehicles or their electric motorcycles. So that's what they're actually using. And there's a lot of stuff that's happening with them being able to charge them and all this kind of stuff, like having because there's just no infrastructure. And like you get like the sticks of Argentina. No one's got a level 2 charger on the side of their hut. So it's that's always a wrinkle that's happening this season. Cool part, too, is they're actually using the 2 support vehicles. Have you heard of Rivian Motors out of Plymouth? They're making those trucks. Anyway, and they're out of Plymouth, Michigan. They're driving 2 prototype Rivian trucks, and that's who the support vehicles are and stuff. I love the show, and it comes out. They're doing like The Boys and like that. So they're releasing an episode every Friday on Apple TV. And it's called The Long Way Up with Ewan McGregor. It's a good show.
All right.
Quick question for you, Charles. Sorry to
go ahead.
Hold you up for a second. So you talk about your love of two-wheel vehicles. Do you see yourself at any point kind of delving into the motorcycle world, or scooters as far as you're going to go?
I have my motorcycle endorsement. I had to get that to get the scooters and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Like it's one of those things that and Steve can attest that we didn't grow up. Our dad didn't ride motorcycles or nothing like that. And then, like I said, like I just kind of on a whim because I'm just crazy. I was like, I want to get a scooter, and Steve looked at me like, you're insane. And I went and got my license, and then I went and got a scooter. I love it, man. I can't tell you guys enough. I don't know if I'd necessarily get like a full-fledged motorcycle because I just love scoot culture and all that kind of stuff. I just love Vespas and all that Kimco scooters, Piaggio scooters. We can keep going on and on. It's one of those weird things that bit me, and I just love, man. I can't.
You need to get a motorcycle, a trike, and then get a bomber jacket with a long white scarf, the goggles, and a leather helmet.
Dude, I don't know.
That'd be you.
Man. I just, and like I said, watching this show,
out pants on the side. Look at you for the 30s.
You joke, but like the one thing I'd love to get would be a Ural,
A urinal?
a Ural motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
It's got a sidecar on it, and it'd be just fun as hell to me and Heather just to tool around on it and stuff like that.
Man.
So I just can't say no. I love it.
Wow, that was a unique take on from pottery to motorcycle.
This is why the people come back to the Fat Guys in the Little podcast.
The variety.
Yeah, it's just the obscurity of all these random.
I mean, Jim, that's a Dark Crystal game. Who the fuck's playing that? And then a Great British Baking Show that's in a bubble. Some great pottery. Hey, man, I don't know. We all got our thing.
And now Steve's going to go to a bad CBS All Access.
Oh, my God. So, all right. So, I got CBS. We covered it earlier. I have CBS All Access. And what happens to be on there is it's called Star Trek Lower Decks. Now, the animation looks like it belongs on Fox Sunday nights.
It's got like a Futurama kind of
yeah,
vibe
yeah,
to it.
yeah. So,
and this is supposed to show like the inner workings of a fleet or whatever.
yeah,
like
and these are the scrubs at the bottom of the boat, totem pole. And I like. Did you ever see the movie Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen? And
I know of it. I've never seen it.
I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was
Didn't
funny.
take it too serious. Right?
Yeah, it was a comedy, and it kind of poked fun at Star Trek. So that's what I was expecting from this show. The biggest crime about a comedy show about Star Trek is when you're not funny. And it just isn't funny. I'm sorry, it's
So
not.
Star Trek is not funny. It's not entertaining. It's
I
not-
don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, the J.J. Abrams movies are good.
yeah, they are. They
But
are.
diehard Star Trek fans will tell you that's trash, and that it's too much like Star. It's just Star Wars with a Star Trek skin.
Well, that explains why I liked it because I liked those J.J. Abrams
Yeah,
Star
no,
Trek
they were
ones.
great, right?
Yeah.
So this is, I don't know. It's just not funny. I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of
Is it supposed to be told from the perspective of the people who work in the engine room?
yeah, okay. So like that picture Bill's got, the green girl and the black guy with the eye thing, they are engineers. So they work on stuff and they get off on working stuff like fixing hyperdrives and stuff. The black girl on the left and there's another white guy that's not in the picture are the two main characters, and they're kind of like, she's like been around, she's seasoned, the other guy's just like a new noob. And they just get into like misadventures, but they're not funny misadventures, and it's not good. I'm sorry, it's just not fun.
Oh, man.
I saw 8 episodes
You
of
watched
it.
8 episodes.
They're only
eh?
25 minutes apiece, so they go pretty quick. You figure minus 3 minutes for the opening, so you're here 22 minutes. It's one of those things I put on in the background. God, it's not. The biggest crime is it's just not funny. And maybe if I was a diehard Star Trek nerd,
Like
all right?
no one like screws up and gets their hand stuck in like doors or
No, it's
gets
not that
particle
kind of funny.
derived and like no.
No. Well, there is one where the one guy does a test, testing one of the beam me down thing, and he turns kind of translucent, so they had to ship him off to like a special needs farm for people that have accidents or whatever.
Okay.
That was okay. I mean, that was mild chuckle. Most of it's like a deep cut references, so they'll pull in a character from like Star Trek Next Generation. And you're supposed to laugh because that's the animated version of that guy, and I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, because they even say, they go, didn't you used to give Picard trouble all the time? And I'm like,
it's like major
so
inside baseball kind of thing.
yeah, but it's a non-funny major inside baseball thing, so it's not like Major League. It's just, I don't know, man, it's not funny. It's just, did you watch the Orville at all?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. The Seth
It's like,
MacFarlane.
yeah. So
funny
if you,
take on Star Trek.
but it's not funny either, right?
No, it's not.
If you animated the Orville, that's this show.
Ugh.
So it's
The
like,
Orville's terrible.
yeah, and people online kind of like this, and there's like, it got good reviews. So, well, I'll take that back. The general audience hated it, but like the diehards
Star
loved
Trek
it.
people are into it.
So stay away from this unless you just love Star Trek and you dress up every Halloween as Captain Kirk. I mean, I don't know. It's terrible to me. I thought it was terrible. I'm working on another one for next week. It's just as terrible, but maybe it'll get better. Dragon's Dogma, that's on Netflix. That's 8 episodes. That's half hour each, too. That looks beautiful so far, but So,
Well,
anyways,
and then to your point for next week, I'll have we're gonna get deeper into Pen 15. I've already watched a handful.
oh, that creepy ass shit.
I love that show, and then I've already watched a handful of episodes for that, and I'll probably wrap that season up enough to have a conversation about that next week.
All right. So, talking of terrible things, let's go over BV's pick.
Yeah,
Cold lock pick. Last week didn't go so well. Bill, what happened last week with your Minnesota getting 3 over the Colts?
Well, first, I'd like to say for the record that this was not my idea.
Well, come
segment.
on.
I
It's
told
just
you from
fun.
the beginning I can't pick games to save my life. That being said, we talked about this game last week, the Vikings and Colts. The Vikings were getting 3 points against a very average at best Colts team. I think your both of your analysis were well over 90% that should have worked.
Yes.
Just goes to show you that there's no sense to the NFL whatsoever.
Your research was pretty solid. You had me
Colts
convinced.
proceeded to basically mollywop the Vikings 28-11.
Cousins went Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, as far as I'm concerned, Kirk Cousins can go stick a broken plunger handle up his ass for the remainder of his life. This fuckwad goes 11 for 26 for 113 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 interceptions against the Colts, who had just gotten torched the week before by Gardner Minshew, who went 19 for 20 against them. So just total garbage. What we found out about the Vikings in the first 2 weeks is they can't stop the run at all. The Colts ran for 151 yards on them, 101 by the backup running back, because their starter,
is that Jonathan Taylor?
Back, had gone out with a.
Was it Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor.
That's the rookie I told you to watch out for.
Yeah. And I mean, Delvin Cook had a decent game considering he only had 14 carries. I mean, he had 4.5 yards of carries, 14 carries, 63 yards, a touchdown. But when you're playing from behind and Kirk Cousins is the human turnover machine, and so start off the cold lock pick of the week season with a fat 0-1, down $10. I'm making a $10 bet on the DraftKings sports book every week. So we'll try to do better this time, but wouldn't count on it. So I guess I'll move on to the pick this week. Looking at the games, I'm staying in the NFL. I realize that picking college games are kind of tough to do considering the fact that, the way we're scheduled right now, it's basically in the middle of the day for college games, and unless there's like a really good night game, not much to really look at. So I am picking the New England Patriots. Mm-hmm. They are playing at home against the Las Vegas Raiders, and they're giving 6 points.
They're getting or giving?
Giving 6 points. So they're a 6-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So first, to this $10 bet that I'm making, or at a -110 for this, which means that I'm betting $10 to win an additional $9.10. So it would pay out $19.10 if I win.
It's so weird how that works.
Yeah, that's how Vegas does.
So the reasoning for this pick. The Raiders are off an emotional win against the Saints at their, inaugural game at, I honestly don't remember the name of the field in Las Vegas. But first game in their new home in Las Vegas, coming for a 1:00 game on the East Coast in a short week because they played the Monday night game.
So you're playing the geography angle for this.
Part of it has to do with they're on a high from an emotional win. They're on a short week. They're going across the country, to 3 time zones ahead for a 1:00 game. Then kind of looking at some of the history here, Derek Carr has a horrible record in the 2 games he's played against the Patriots. He's 0-2, and in both games they've scored 8 and 9 points, respectively. He's 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions in those 2 games. The Patriots, coming off that loss to Seattle, I think are going to be looking a little bit angry. They didn't play poorly. Seattle's just a really good team.
I think Seattle's really good. Yeah.
As much as I hate to
excellent
admit
game,
it,
by the way.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
looks pretty good too. So, and historically, Belichick is 72% against the spread when the Patriots were coming off of a loss the week before. So I think this kind of, and again, because we all know that my analysis means absolutely nothing. Don't put even a dime on this, people.
Bet
you
your rent.
Yeah, but there you go. My thought process on this is that you've got a team that's running on emotional high and they're going cross country and down, kind of looking like because they're really the Raiders really aren't that good. Their defense isn't particularly good. I think the primary reason that they had so much success against the Saints is that they could set certain things with defense, because I don't know if I know it's been a kind of a topic of discussion. I've seen a lot of both of the two Saints games this year. Drew Brees, suddenly his arm looks like it's like half fallen off.
Yeah.
They said he's only thrown, I think, in the first 2 weeks, something like 2 or 3 passes over 20 yards at all. He's looking a lot like Peyton Manning in that year, where they kind of had, in his last year, they kind of had to nurse him with a defense to a title. He's not making any kind of, the kind of throws he used to make. The Patriots have looked good, even though they're 1-1, and they're going to be, pretty upset. And this should be a game where it should be a pretty, if not a total blowout. I'm looking at 10 to 14 point win. So I'm laying the 6 points for the Patriots over the Raiders. We'll see how that works out. Hopefully better than last week.
Again, BV's research is solid. Totally agree. But it means Raiders win by 3.
So what is your percent of we do 1 to 100 on what we agree with BV, disagree? What's
after hearing his case, and I do agree in the theory of West Coast teams going east, except for when Seattle did it to Atlanta and still smoked Atlanta. Atlanta just hot garbage right now. I like that theory. The Patriots should be 2-0. They were a yard away from being 2-0. I like Bill's pick. I am at 90% with Bill.
See, I'm gonna be a hard line. I have an issue with the Patriots this year. I think I just might.
Is this the clownfish thing again? Can we let that die?
The symbiotic relationship.
Can you put that in the bubble or something?
I'm gonna give it a 70%. I'm coming down off BV's pick this week. I'm not as hot. I thought his last week pick, he got hosed.
Cousin went cousin is what happened.
I think BB's 100% right. He got hosed by Kirk Cousins. Last week, I'm all in. This week, I'm a little milder. I get BB's points. It's not that I don't get his points. I just can't believe that the Patriots are going to be who everyone thinks they're going to be, would be my thought.
Yeah, they're at home. They're pissed off. They should have won. Raiders are a short week, like Bill said.
Did you see Belichick in that homeless outfit he had on the one
day?
Yeah,
that holes.
Holy shit!
That guy don't give a fuck.
He's worth millions of dollars.
He's got a holy T-shirt on. Yeah. So all right, Bill. We'll keep track of that, and maybe you'll get your $9.10. Weird that they can't just straight up you, but okay. So there you go. The Bill's like, go out, people. I'm telling you right now, get your rent money and put it on Bill's lock. He was off by week 1, but that was just, it was Cousins.
It was an anomaly.
There's 2 rules when you bet football. 1, you never bet 4 against the Lions because they'll fuck you every time. And 2, don't bet 4 against fucking Kirk Cousins because he should be a Lion. When Matt Stafford finally retires to the Lions, they'll probably get Kirk Cousins. I guarantee that'll probably happen. That was the battle of Steve's hated quarterbacks, Cousins and fucking Rivers. Ugh. Charles, I got to ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, wait, before I ask you that question, next Saturday, this guy and his wife are going to MGM to go downtown, and I'm going to put some money on some sports book.
Oh, okay.
So I might have to call you, keep your phone ready, because the UFC always be paying me. But anyways, but I also have to ask you a question. One more question. Do you like Gunsmoke?
Do I like Gunsmoke? The old TV show? I know
Yes.
BV's stepdad did, but I'm not a fan.
Do you like the show Twilight Zone?
Not like the old one or the new one, the Jordan Peele one or something.
Do you like the late night show with James Gordon?
No, I hate James Gordon.
Do you like Stephen Colbert?
No.
Then you have no reason to get CBS access because it's all their current shows and then a bunch of old shit.
Oh, okay.
So the only most of their originals are Star Trek. Star Trek Discovery.
Isn't that Twilight Zone, though?
Yeah, that is on there.
Jordan Peele one, right?
But I don't like the Twilight Zone, so I never watched it. What are you going to say, Bill?
So it's not the Rod Serling old school Twilight Zone. It's a newer.
I think that is on there, but
it's got both.
Yeah, it's got both, but they promote the new one up front. So it's Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Lower Decks, and Star Trek Discovery. I've watched 2 out of the 3. 2 of them are dog shit. So I have no high hopes for Picard. Of course, all their current stuff's on there. Mom, Navy SEALs, all the stuff from CBS. And that's where they hide their football if you want to watch football streaming.
Wow.
So CBS All Access is trash.
It sounds like so. Are you saying you're 0 for 2 on these network specific?
Oh yeah.
Streaming services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, if it wasn't for the fact I was in the basement and wanted to work on a model while watching football, I would never even have gotten
You
CBS
gotta get
All
yourself
Access.
a network tuner, man.
Yeah, I
I'm
really
telling you.
should, but I haven't yet. So, big thumbs down to CBS All Access. I feel, and we're going to talk about this a little later, there's some game streaming wars coming too. This is the streaming service wars right now, right? So, what is there, like 8, 9, 10
They
of them?
want you to have a million of these things.
In 4 or 5 years, it's going to be down to 3 or 4 at the
Yeah, I think
most.
so.
And then probably in the long run, it'll be down to 2.
It's not. It's like when
It's not
World of
sustainable.
Warcraft. Yeah, it's just not gonna be possible.
Yeah. So far as CBS All Access, in all honesty, if I had choice between this or DC Universe, I would take the DC Universe app over the CBS. But I am a comic book slappy. But even then, it still had better originals.
Was
it
there
had
any
better stuff.
content for your wife? Did Michelle was she interested in anything that was on the service or not so much?
I don't think so. Most of the stuff she watched on CBS, she's already DVR'd and still has it on her DVR, like 240 shows. So not a lot on CBS we're a big fan of.
Can you watch, like,
She likes Survivor.
I
You
was
can
gonna
watch
say,
all the Survivor.
an old Amazing
all
Races.
Amazing Races,
Okay.
Big Brothers. Those are on
It's good for like a month, and then you're like, okay.
there. Yeah, that was good for about 2 hours. I'm like, get rid of this garbage. So I cannot recommend CBS All Access at all.
How
Unless,
much do they want for it if you were to have stayed with it?
The one with commercials is $5.99. The one without is $9.99. I think they also have a free version. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that. But it's loaded with commercials, the free version. So there you go. Steve tries his second streaming service. This one was not intentional.
Did you have native apps on all of the devices you went with and all that kind of stuff too? Did you have apps on?
I pretty much used the browser because
okay.
it was in the basement on my computer. I didn't really use it on much else. But I know it is on Xbox and
That's
Roku and all that.
amazing, yeah.
So big thumbs down. Give that service a 2 out of 10. Yeah, but I didn't really want to get it.
That was
so.
like the first network specific one to launch.
Yeah. I don't get it. It's rough. All right, so let's go on to what's new for the week. And some of this one has already happened, and I will need your opinion on that one. So first up on
I think I know
Netflix,
which one. I text you midweek about the one that you're going to answer.
Enola
So
Holmes.
stupid.
My favorite new female actress, Millie Bobby Brown.
That's the chick from Stranger Things,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
I told you it's the next Drew Barrymore. They're going to put this kid in everything.
Yeah.
She plays Sherlock Holmes' younger sister. And I guess she's going to solve mysteries and whatever. I could care less. I like the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., and it's about as far as Sherlock Holmes I go.
There's Guy Ritchie directing those.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
so-
So I'm a big no. Charles, you want to watch Enola Holmes?
No, there's like an elementary show that's on
Yeah,
from CBS.
yeah.
Like,
It's not. It's
who's
canceled
watching-
now, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, everyone's clamoring for this much Sherlock? I don't understand.
There's a really good BBC one with
Yeah, Heather loves it. It's something.
Cumbersnatch.
Yeah.
And he's got the guy who played The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But it's weird. They're not. It's a show, but
It's a weird.
It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's like mini movie.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah.
It's very like limited series.
and it
kinda.
is on Netflix. So
All right, we went down a whole list of. I'm still not going to watch this piece of dung.
Yeah.
I'm a no.
And Bill, Enola Holmes, are you going to solve some mysteries?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Did you go Inspector Gadget?
Yeah, I meant to go Scooby-Doo and I went Inspector Gadget. All right, so screw Enola Holmes and Millie Bobby Brown. A Perfect Crime, Season 1. So back in 1991, this is a politician, this Deltef Roweeder, I guess. So this is one of those documentary, doco series kind of things from Netflix. And I guess the people got away with this. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know anything about this. So I'm a no.
There's a million of these on Netflix.
They love
I
'em.
mean,
They
and
love 'em.
to your point, they're very popular. I'm just not into it. I don't know. I'm not. I liked Tiger King. That was really the only one, but I don't know. I'm a no.
Bill, any interest in A Perfect Crime Season 1?
I'm not really into true crime shows, and I don't know who Detlef Rowetter is either. So,
Oh, you don't?
Big fan.
Huge guy.
is this a U.S.? I read it was a politician. I didn't read much more though. Is this in the U.S. or is this
I think it was in the U.S.
Germany, Austria?
It's a weird name to be in the U.S.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
I mean Detlef Schrempf maybe, but
All right, next up, I'm a big fan of this show. Fargo Season 4. Each season does not attached to the other seasons. So it's like American Horror Story, where it's a crime story, but in this one, Chris Rock is playing a mafia family leader in Kansas or something. I'm big yes. I like this show.
So I think this is one of those shows that I need to check out at some point. I've heard enough good things, and people talk all very highly about it. It's one of those higher rated Netflix show or FX shows. I just have never watched any of them, but maybe I need to get into it. I get it with the Hulu anyway, so maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, Bill.
No.
no. Chris Rock as a mafia guy.
I don't really know anything. It probably should be more of a what, because I don't really know anything about this show at all.
It's very popular.
Yeah, it's each season. It's usually dealt in Fargo, North Dakota, and then it takes place in Minnesota, South Dakota, and then sometimes down in Kansas. And there's different like weird mafias in those, and there's always some kind of crime that happens.
There's
and
a quirkiness to it.
And there's a lot of, and there's always one episode where something sci-fi happens, and they never explain it. Like one episode, an alien ship came over, like hovered over a hotel and flew off, and that was it. They never explained it. Or
just kind of is.
They do that once a season, and I don't know why. Also back this week on NBC on network, Jane Lynch will be hosting The Weakest Link. Wow, of all the shows to bring back, I don't know what's the renaissance of all these game shows all of a sudden.
Supermarket Sweep is going to be the shit.
You also got To Tell the Truth. You got all these other ones. I'm a no on The Weakest Link. Charles?
Yeah, The Weakest Link is not high on my list of things. I don't know. Where's Regis? He's passed. I don't know. I'm kind of not into it.
Well, Regis didn't host it. It was that British one with red hair and glasses. She was real mean.
Which one did Regis do? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got my crappy shows.
Got your crappy game show. Bill, are you in for The Weakest Link?
No, I didn't really like the first one, so won't be watching this one either. It is odd, though, about all the new game shows that are out. I mean, other than the fact that they did bring back Press Your Luck, which I'm an old school fan of. Yeah, I'm not into it.
Let's pump that break on the word new. They're just old shows redone again.
Recycling
recycled bullshit. All right, back this week, only to my wife's surprise and loves it. The Masked Singer is back on Fox. I don't know how the show keeps getting back on TV. This show is terrible. I'm a no, Charles.
I got to tell you, my family kind of fell out of it. It was big for a season or two, but then, like you said, they're pumping them out left and right.
Yeah.
Lorna was all in for a little bit.
You
Now
need
we
to
just
watch.
don't care.
Nick Cannon's got a lot of kids to feed.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not into it. I'm a no now. I'm not into The Masked Singer.
BV, are you into The Masked Singer?
You know, it was interesting to me for about 2 or 3 episodes when it first came on, and then it just lost me completely. So that's no. Completely, slightly off topic. I did see a show which I think came on right afterwards. That was a pilot called I Can See Your Voice.
That's with Ken Jeong in it, too, yeah.
Yeah, that was a train wreck that I, for whatever reason, couldn't turn off. And
they
so
basically have to judge them to be able to sing just as they walk out, right? Isn't that the premise?
Yeah, they have so many. They have like 6 people, and the contestant gets a little bit of information or has a chance to get a little bit of information each round, and they pick somebody and that they think can't sing, and they make money based on whether they're right. And at the end, they get that choice to you can keep what you have and leave, or risk it all to win $100,000. And if the last person standing can sing, they win. It's a pretty stupid show, but it was, at least for one episode, moderately entertaining.
Also new this week,
There, but
which you may have already seen or may not have already seen, America's Got Talent did their finale. I did not watch it. I am aware who won. Let's go to Bill first, then we're going to go to Charles.
Yeah.
Bill, would you watch America's Got Talent finale? Did you watch it at all?
No, I've never liked the show, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I'm very lukewarm on it too, Bill. I just catch it when I walk in the living room. Michelle's watching it. Charles, now please go on a tirade about America's Got Talent.
It's not a tirade as much as it's like, are you shitting me, right? So like they had the COVID shows this round.
Now, before we go further, are you a religious watcher of this? Do you watch every season?
We've been watching a lot. My daughter likes it. It's a good random show to put on in the morning when she's getting ready for school, and we'll kind of walk and talk. And they all know I hate the dance numbers, and my daughter knows what Dad's into and not into. So they had, and it was, okay, the first time, they had this guy who was a spoken word poet. And the first time he came out, he had an eloquent poem at the time.
About his dead sister, right?
Yeah, and
I saw the first one.
It was pretty compelling. I was like, this is kind of cool. But notwithstanding, another round goes by. He does another random poem. They end up winning. This dude ends up winning the show. Who's gonna watch a goddamn spoken word poet show
for $100 a ticket?
Yeah, get out of here with this. This is just stupid as shit. I text Steve midweek. I go, a spoken word poet one? How on earth?
Now Michelle feels the big black lady should have won. She was a pretty talented singer.
But that's kind of the rub with America's Got Talent.
Wasn't it just 3 singers and him?
It's just pretty much singers towards the end. I liked the season where the Shin Lim, the magician, won. He is an amazing magician, and his
what?
Oh, sorry to interrupt. That dude's awesome.
Yeah, so there you go. He's an amazing card trick and totally compelling. But this spoken word thing, I text you midweek. I was like, this is the stupidest shit. I couldn't get over it. I was like, this is crazy. So anyway, that's just my thing. America's Got Talent this season. And then Simon was gone because he fell off that e-bike and everything.
Yeah.
This is a weird season. It limped to the end. Also, Sofia Vergara's terrible. She agrees too much. I don't like it. I still like
Oh my
Howie,
God,
though.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she says, "Oh my God," one more time. All right, I can't believe you still watch that show.
I watch it with one eye.
I watched the first
checking
season.
randomness on the internet on my phone.
Once the first season, I watched it, skipped it all. Then I watched the first season with Howard Stern.
Yeah, I gotta watch
and
Howard.
he got on there. He's all nice. I was like, I quit watching as soon as he did that. And like I said, I catch little bits because Michelle's always watching it, so I'll watch here and there.
I gotta tell you, man, Simon Cowell looks odd because he's lost so much weight. He's now
Oh yeah,
completely
he has
vegan
cancer
and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's
he's
very weird.
It's like, dude,
He looks like animal.
eat some
from
of these
Road Warrior.
spicy nugs, man.
He
Like, what
got
are you doing?
Even the Road Warrior got deflated together.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So now you asked me earlier what my other show might be besides Picard to replace Yellowstone. This might be it here. This is Utopia on Amazon. It's got Rainn Wilson and John Pimpsack.
Yeah,
John Pimpsack runs Cusack. Sorry for all you folks out there.
Yeah,
who love
Steve's
Pimpsack.
always called him that.
Yeah, he's always been Pimpsack because Scott Bergeron
Rainn
modeled his
Wilson
life
is the
after him.
Dwight Schrute from The Office.
Yes, yeah. So basically, a virus gets released by a major corporation called Utopia, and this virus starts doing things to people. And Rainn Wilson is one of the doctors that worked on this virus, and these kids kind of figure it out too, and they're trying to stop it all.
Jesus.
Now you think, oh, they just made this for COVID. Actually, this is based on a comic from 20 years ago, so it's not as topical as you think. So, but it seems very
timing is
interesting.
impeccable.
Yeah, the timing is hellified. It has a little bit of dark humor to it. It looks like
I like Rainn Wilson. I
it
think
looks
he's
pretty
very
good. So this is probably going to be the one that's going to follow up Yellowstone for me. So I am a yes, Charles.
Unfortunately, I have to be a no because you said Amazon, and I refuse to watch any Amazon shows. They're all terrible. I'll listen for your review, and then, like I said, we'll go from there.
And Bill, your thoughts?
Do we really need another dystopian television show? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Well, it doesn't go full it starts breaking out,
it's
and then I
probably
think it gets stopped by Rainn Wilson and the kids with him. I think I
It
don't know.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't go full Walking Dead, like walking around
Crap.
looking for fun. Crap.
Crap.
Okay, Bill's out on that one. All right. So, Charles, what's happening in the world of Punch You in the Face UFC?
Yeah, we so just real quick, we talked about it kind of earlier today. So Steve put it in his notes because he was pretty wound up about
I
it.
thought it was funny.
Yeah, so after his fight, he called LeBron James a pussy after his
This
fight.
is Colby Covington, the guy
Colby
who
Covington
thinks,
is the MAGA Trump supporter.
yeah, he thinks he's a
fighter.
heel wrestler.
And he beat Tyron Woodley. He's going full heel, to Steve's point. He also called Black Lives Matter. He said it was a sham.
So, is it an act on his part at this point, or do you
It
think he's believing
completely
it?
is an act. It's even Trump is an act at this point. So I mean, what are we talking about, Steve? He's just playing it up, and everyone's buying in, and it's racist.
Yeah, it's gonna get him that bigger
Reebok
purse.
had to come out and make a statement about it. So did Monster Energy for the UFC, and kind of make it
jeez.
stay. So he's doing enough to spur up everything. The president.
We
called
are
him
that
after
dumb
he
as a
won.
nation that we automatically believe. I mean, you can't tell us.
You're not getting, it's a work. You know what I mean? Like people know
Just-
who he is now because he went to an angle.
Yeah, Tyson wasn't going to eat his children. And this guy is. Okay, got
But
it.
like I said earlier, it's kind of funny to see someone who could just look at LeBron and call him his big ass a pussy because he's like, "I whoop your ass if you want to get
Now,
real."
let's talk weights though. How much does Colby Covington weigh? I mean, what weight? Does he
Okay, so
wrestle?
let's say Colby
he's not a
Covington-
big dude.
Let's say he weighs 185 pounds. Let's say. You're telling me that LeBron can hold his own against a world-class UFC MMA fighter?
Now LeBron's a world class athlete.
Athlete.
How tall is LeBron?
He's got to be 6'8",
6'8"?
6'6".
How much?
6'8".
How much does he weigh? What does he weigh?
He's
240?
probably at least probably 240.
Solid muscle.
Yeah,
Oh, he's bigger than that.
he's got to be 250.
He's
maybe.
a good 260, 270.
Okay.
So there's
My
no way
money's
this
still-
guy would even be in the same weight class with him.
I don't care. I'm telling you,
I don't think he beats him up
LeBron
that
James
easy.
don't know how to throw a punch. Are you serious? Like,
But he's big enough to keep him away from him.
dude. I'm telling you, he'll hook him and just. I'm telling you. Anyway, we're gonna agree to disagree. We agree to disagree
I
on
know.
the Ronda Rousey stuff.
I mean, LeBron
too.
James is a pretty big dude, though.
I'm not
I mean,
arguing that LeBron
I mean,
James
if it was
is
a
not
tiny dude the same size as him, yeah.
all I'm saying is,
I mean, if he's saying this shit to Danny DeVito, then yeah. But I don't. LeBron's a pretty big dude.
You think Colby Covington's afraid of LeBron James?
No, I don't think he's afraid of him. No.
I don't think he is at all. And that's what I'm trying to say. And he's just.
Now, we just talking cold? Does LeBron get to practice for a while? I mean, does he get some MMA training?
I'm saying
Like when McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather, he got some training.
and we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
So
'cause
if
he's
you
got some
give
stuff
LeBron
going
6 months to train,
on. Okay, well, I'm not talking
and
about
Covington's not even in the same
6
weight class,
months
I got
to train is a
LeBron.
whole other conversation. I'm talking about right now.
Oh, he walks up the street and sucker punches him? Yeah. Well, first
there's-
off, he's not going to get through the 20 fucking security guards.
Yeah, but
LeBron
I'm
has.
just saying, like, LeBron gets chesty with Colby Covington, calls him a bitch, and runs up on him. You think Colby Covington's going to turn and run?
No.
Not at all. That's what I'm
I don't think
saying,
so.
Steve.
Well, LeBron's not going to get chesty.
But we're talking hypothetical
Okay,
confrontation.
Okay.
right now.
We got to set some standards here.
Yeah, so I'm talking about today. He goes up and is like, man, I heard you talking that shit, Cole. You think he's like, oh, man, you're LeBron James. No,
No.
he's going to sit right there and be like, dude, anytime you want to throw hands right now,
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, Steve. Like, LeBron James is a freak of an athlete. No one's going to deny that. But you're talking about a crazy person who slept on people's couches for 8 years, wrestling.
Give him 6 months training, he's beating Colby's ass.
I think you're right. It's 6 months. I'm talking about right now, as of today.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Not
I
happening.
give you that. What do you say, Bill?
You think? Okay, well, because I do take a little exception with it. For starters, right now, LeBron is an unbelievable athlete. He's not a fighter. Basketball players are notoriously horrible fighters.
Oh, yeah.
Ask Ron a test.
If they get up in each other's face right now, LeBron doesn't last 30 seconds. And I would go a step further. I don't think LeBron James could train to fight for 6 months and beat Colby Covington.
I think he could.
I think he could.
He
That's
is
a
such a
Eh,
big freak of
And-
an
or-
athlete.
or
That's a
certainly-
big weight
it- it
difference.
would
He in
Certainly
certainly
6
would be-
months, he could learn to keep Colby away from
He's
him.
almost a foot
But
He
taller.
could, yeah.
Well, but it would be. Let's put it this way. I
There's
would
no
say
way
it-
they're in the same weight class.
I would at least not say that it's a certain thing. I don't know that 6 months of training can necessarily just just that in size trump these guys. I mean,
Yeah, but
Colby
he's
Covington is
but
a
not whatever, BB. I'm going to
world-class
go into
fighter.
Steve's camp in this scenario, though. LeBron James could play in the NFL. LeBron James is a freak athlete. Freak by every stretch and every metric you could go by. So if you
He
give
may
him,
not knock
you
out
give him
Colby
6
Covington.
months to train, I think it's a totally different conversation.
Yeah.
He would be.
That's two different weight classes, two different sizes.
I'm talking about right now.
completely
He's not
different from
afraid.
now.
That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I wouldn't. It's obviously not going to be the same. Even 6 months would be definitely a different story. But the thing is that LeBron can train in disciplines or whatever. That doesn't mean he's going to be able to take a punch or a kick. It doesn't mean he's going to be able to properly defend things, submission moves or whatnot.
Yeah, but the first thing
I
they're
mean-
teaching him is a sprawl.
Yeah, they're
So
gonna
Colby
use his length and all
Would
that
have a
kind of
hard
stuff.
time taking him
Yeah,
down. That's number one.
First of all, this is an awesome conversation because, like, whenever this can happen, I'm all in on that.
It'd be a huge
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view, man.
I'm just
It'd
telling
be
you
a
right
huge
now.
pay-per-view.
For the record, they'll take my $60, $70 all day for that conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if you gave him a true fight camp, I'm in Steve's scenario. They're gonna have him trained in a way that he would utilize his length and utilize his freak athletic. There's no doubt. But I'm saying it's funny to see right now little Colby Covington calling him pussy because he knows for a fact he ain't worried about LeBron, and that's kind of awesome.
The only other point I want to make about this is that you're talking about teaching him how to use his length to keep him away, right? So they teach him to defend. Is he going to win a UFC fight just keeping Colby Covington away from him?
Is Colby Covington going to win one-on-one? No.
No, but and
Play a half-court basketball.
LeBron's going to be good enough that he can smoothly and not because he won't agree to.
He wouldn't agree to that kind of fight. He agreed to a boxing fight with extra padded gloves.
I'm just
Colby
saying.
loses. No way he's going to get close.
I'm just saying that he can learn to sprawl and he can learn to avoid takedowns, and his length can help him stay away. But anytime that he goes to use offense, he better get really good at that too, because anytime he tries to use offense, he's going to open himself up for other shots. So Covington could take advantage of his length and other ways too.
LeBron wins that fictional fight.
I think I'm with Steve. You give him 6 months, I'm giving it to LeBron. I will. First of all, again, I wanted to take for the record. Awesome conversation. Anytime we could debate big ass LeBron versus Colby Covington, I'm into it. I thought it was crazy that he did call him out. Moving forward, UFC 253 is tonight. They went back to Fight Island. Israel Adesanya is going to fight Paulo Costa. This is going to be a good fight.
I saw the weigh-in. They were pissy with each other.
Yeah, they're a little bit chippy and stuff like that. It's not bad. But the problem is the undercard is pretty weak, I would argue. I mean, there's a handful of names, but not really enough.
Hot garbage.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not into that, but we'll talk about the results next week, I'm sure. And then the other thing is, to Steve's point, Conor McGregor is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in the Middle East by the end of the year. This just
and
came
what, the
up.
Kumite? What is
don't
that?
know,
How
man.
old is Manny Pacquiao at this point?
He's 100.
He's got to be 41 or 42 at least.
That's it? I was thinking 50s.
No, he's not that old.
Feels like he's been boxing for 14 centuries.
So
he's 41. He'll be 42 in December.
Really? God, he seemed a lot older than that.
But for a fighter, that's long in the tooth. I'm just going to say.
Who wins that fight?
Manny Pacquiao's going to win the fight, but McGregor's going to be able to keep that one way closer than the Floyd Mayweather, because Pacquiao likes to trade and throw hands. I'm sure BB would attest to this. Whereas you're never going to catch Floyd Mayweather. He's going to pity pat and run, and it's the worst boxing match to watch. At least Pacquiao and him are going to throw hands. There's going to be gloves going all over the place.
But didn't Pacquiao get destroyed in his last fight or something? I don't remember.
I'm way more interested in this fight than I am the Floyd Mayweather.
Now is McGregor going to make $100 million from this one too?
Yeah, easily. And that's why.
Really? You think there's that big of a demand to see Pacquiao?
There's that big of a demand for McGregor too. I mean, I don't know. I just think that it'll make bank. Maybe not Floyd Mayweather bank, but it'll make bank, and then he'll go off and make more whiskey and rape more chicks or do whatever he's up to. You know?
Is that why they got to fight in the Middle East?
Yeah,
He's banned from everywhere else.
So.
Hey, that was the other thing I was going to bring up to you. Did you catch that they're going to have a host at MC for the Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight? It's going to be Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez.
So they're doing a whole thing. It's not just going to be the fight. They're having musical acts, all kinds of
musical acts.
They're trying to give you enough for your $70 or $100 you're about to pay.
Man. Are we still going? BB, coming in for that, dude? We still got to do that for sure.
For which?
It's November 28th.
Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight. We got to get that. We got to check that out.
That's what, Thanksgiving weekend?
I think so. Yeah, I'm going to take that week off. We're definitely going to check it out. I'm gonna watch that for sure.
Hey, for the record, just since I'm being contrarian to the rest of you guys, I don't necessarily. It's a more entertaining fight. I don't think it's a closer fight. Pacquiao, his last couple of fights, has beat legit. I mean, he won a split decision against Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman was one of the top guys, and he's not an old guy. Before that, he beat Adrian Broner, who was really, his star was.
I want to make sure I understand that. I want to make sure that we're both very clear. I'm not saying that McGregor stands a chance it's going to be closer. I'm saying it's going to be more akin to a regular. It's going to be more like what McGregor's going to look for. I guess is what I'm trying to like. Two physical guys and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, no,
that's what I'm not here to say that McGregor stands higher. That's not what I'm here to say. I'm just saying the Floyd Mayweather fight is a technical showpiece of him playing pity pat and running around. That's not what McGregor wants. He wants a Pacquiao fight where they can go toe to toe.
How pissed are regular boxers though? This asshole from the UFC keeps walking
Dips in and out.
Dips in, gets $100 million loses.
Yeah.
Dips in, gets another $100 million. He's gonna be 0-2 as a professional
But
boxer.
that's kind of the problem with boxing and a lot of things in general. With this weird, like, where there's no rules and kind of just you can set something up and just kind of do whatever you want to do. And it's just, like you said, like, you know, here's someone who's paying his dues and this guy dips in, gets $100 million pieces out. It's crazy.
Well, boxing and MMA, though, are not about who's the best and who's good. It's about who wants to pay to see you fight.
Yeah, LeBron and Colby Covington.
I'm into this fight.
Hey, I paid for it.
Yeah, we got to start that petition after our Pat McAfee petition. That's our next one. We're going to get LeBron and Colby to fight. Can you sign this for me real quick? not Kobe, Colby.
I'm going to change.org right now.
Yeah, change.org.
It's where you can make petitions and shit.
Yeah, we got to keep going. We got a couple of them. We got 2 of them going.
I got 2 of them going. Also, we're going to have change.org for Philip Rivers to retire. All right, so we got some news this week. Big one for Microsoft.
A big, I would say a huge shot across the Sony bow is more like what it is, too.
Pistols at 10 pesos?
Yeah, I mean, because they're just going to keep, do you think they're going to keep gobbling up studios? You think they're done?
I don't think they're done.
I don't think they're done
I think
either.
this is the biggest one they can get outside of Ubisoft or EA.
Yeah.
Bill, do you have any idea who Bethesda is?
I'm aware of them, but I wouldn't be able to tell you about their catalog of video games.
How dare you?
Okay. I don't know what Steve's doing right now.
I'm trying to look up their other games. So Bethesda is a longtime video game publisher. Most famously, Doom is a big one of theirs.
They own the id. They bought Bethesda bought out id.
Yep.
And then they brought them in house.
Yeah.
But then the biggest one they are known for is
Fallout.
the Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
Fallout, yes. Those are role-playing, first-person shooter type. One's a shooter, one's a fantasy type game. A Wolfenstein, Skyrim's the other big one of theirs.
Yeah.
Microsoft bought them for $7.5 billion with a B dollars.
And now it gets sticky. And again, listen to the Bombcast because a lot of what we talk about on here is actually in depth, even further for video game knowledge. There's a lot of games that were already announced for Bethesda for PlayStation and multiple platforms. Microsoft had to get out in front of it and basically say, hey, look, we're going to take it a case-by-case basis of how we're going to do these releases and stuff.
Well, it might be financially good to have them on everything because they did that with Minecraft. And look how much money Minecraft is generating.
Also true. But if you want to ultimately, why do you buy, if you're Microsoft, you bought this studio so that you can lock down their IP. That's why you do it. I mean, there's no other reason to.
Right.
And so it doesn't make sense to allow them to still continue to, to put that IP out on that other platform. It'd be my 2 cents, but you might have a different opinion.
Yeah, I think they already have a contract with Bethesda for PS5. There's some new game coming from Bethesda that's supposed to be there. I think they're going to let that one go because it's already a contract and everything. I think anything after that's going to show up on Game Pass. I guarantee the whole back catalog is coming to Game Pass immediately. Both Dooms, which I'm not a lot of people love them games. I've tried them twice. Yeah. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Fallout either. I don't like the first person.
Never played it.
It's one of those apocalyptic nuclear waste ones, and that
BV's
setting
over it.
Yeah, BV's
too much
over.
dystopia.
I'm with BV on that one. The nuclear waste dystopia. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
So, but
the one I tried was I had the Elder Scrolls on VR. I couldn't get into that at all.
No, didn't like it. No, I'm not a big Elder Scroll or Skyrim guy, and I like.
But you have to admit that this is a huge get for them.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
No one's denying
These games have huge followings.
Yeah.
They're not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people like them.
And that's what it boils down to.
So, I mean, who outside of this is they after next? This is the biggest one they've
Well, they get Diablos, too. Diablos should be them then, too, right?
No. Diablo is mixed in with EA.
Is it? Is it Blizzard?
EA or Activision, one of the two.
Did they? Oh, I thought they had Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo is not them.
Oh. I thought that was an id property. I could have been wrong. Is that a Blizzard?
Yeah. Blizzard.
Okay. Yeah.
Diablo 4, Blizzard. Yeah.
I'm trying to
Call
think
of Duty. So it's Activision. Diablo's
Yeah.
They're not buying Activision. Activision's going to want.
Yeah.
You're almost paying $1 trillion to get Activision.
You're
paying $1 trillion.
with a T.
$1 trillion to get EA Sports. You're getting. Ubisoft, I don't know. They kind of their stock goes up and down. They're only at $17 for the stock. Ubisoft could be one they could try for. They're not the hottest right now, but I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that they can still suck up. So Microsoft is putting the money into them. And this is a side note. I don't know why it's popped in the head because we mentioned Minecraft and stuff like that. You hear that story on Roblox? So 8-year-old little girl plays on Roblox. There's some dude who's 43, child predator, befriended her on there. And like, hey, send me videos of yourself, and I'll send you like unlockables and stuff in the game. Yeah, he got it was on the news. So they busted him with like 4 or 5 like lewd videos that this little 8-year-old girl sent from her mom's phone to this guy on Roblox so she can get like free outfits.
I gotta go and install Roblox.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
So apparently Roblox got a child predator problem.
Jesus.
I only brought that up because your daughter plays it.
She loves it.
You might see who she can communicate with.
Yeah, what are you talking? You don't friend nobody.
Yeah, no.
And no one send you shit. Wow.
Yeah. So on this podcast, none of us were actually after a PS5 or Xbox Series X. Well, apparently it doesn't matter because all the pre-sales went like
and
that.
they were a cluster too. Like,
Yeah.
The way they did it.
Sites were crashing, especially the PS5, not the Xbox Series X too much.
It just goes back to what are you gonna play? I don't understand. Like, what is everyone?
Well, they have a handful of launches for both of them, but nothing. I mean, what is it?
I'll see you in the spring when the real games come
I mean, you
out.
can play NBA 2K1, 2K21 or whatever.
They're gonna They're gonna put that on the PS4.
The Viking game. There's nothing exclusive that's
That's
coming
what I'm
out.
saying. Like, what are we up to?
But if you wanted a pre-order like BV wanted, nope, not going to happen. Now this is some ironic news because I just played this game this week. The Netflix series Dark Crystal series that the game I played this week is based on has been canceled.
Yeah.
It must not have got enough views and it must be too costly to make.
Yeah, as I say, it's got to cost a fortune to make the show, is what I would think.
I
It's
wonder
got
if
to
they
be a
could-
budgetary thing.
Could they switch it to CG and make it look kind of puppety through CG?
How much is CG at this point? It's not
I don't
cheap.
know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Maybe it's just people don't realize that it's a Midnight Mass situation.
Yeah,
like
I
you
thought it was,
probably
too.
just wanted that. The Dark Crystal movie is so endeared to your childhood, and you're like, oh man. And then they put more of it in that world, and you're like, I think I'm done with the Dark Crystal. Like,
Yeah.
because it didn't hit me or you. We were both like,
I sat through them and I couldn't tell you I know Mark Hamill was a voice.
Yeah, I love Mark Hamill, dude. I love
And the
Luke.
little creepy puppets were running around.
The Gelflings, you know.
Yeah, that one should probably stay in our past.
And
so.
that's okay.
Yeah. So this next one, we got another canceling this week. Supergirl is no more after 6 seasons. I never watched this show.
I was going to say, did you watch it?
No. Now they're getting a little flack because they're canceling Supergirl and they greenlit Superman and Lois. So that show's coming. So a female-led show is being swept away for a male-led show with it's not. It's a co-host. Lois Lane's supposed to be a big part of the show. So I don't know. I didn't watch it. Supergirl, they took too many liberties. Like it's like Smallville, where Smallville took a lot of like Lex Luthor was Superman's best friend in Smallville. It's like what is this? So me being the diehard comic nerd, got offended and I never watched
the
it.
nerd creds.
Yeah, I hate when they do that. So no more Supergirl. Now this week there's 2 controversial people that came back to TV this week. First one is Ellen, and I don't know if you saw her. I saw a little bit of her monologue.
I did.
She
I
went a
watched
little
all
more
the thing.
jokey than I anticipated. I thought it would be more heartfelt and crying.
The whole time I was watching it, I'm just like, who is legit watching this right now?
Yeah.
I just can't. It is so not for me, man. I don't know what else to say other than it is just not for me.
And that's the Ellen DeGeneres show. She is now back. So like I said, she took it very lighthearted, kind of like, oh, hey, But if you sign our change.org thing, we will have Pat McAfee
Yeah, Pat McAfee.
as the new daytime
BB,
host.
are you still going down the Pat McAfee rabbit hole, by the way? I was going to ask you.
I've been watching good portions of new shows, but I haven't been going real deep into like the archives or anything.
You doing it for the brand? And the millions. Oh, sorry.
Millions.
It's just the rapport he has with all his friends. They were playing. They made up some game this week. I forget what they call it. Something ball.
Oh, it was that basketball game that
Yeah,
they.
it's like this random, like, there's no athletic ability whatsoever, just shooting these. And they made title belts. So, like, they had and Pat and one of the dudes won it. And they're just talking shit. Like, smells like a championship to me. It's like a whole
Big
10-minute
controversy
segment.
over whether they cheated or.
Yeah, the other guy's like, you guys are cheating. Screw that. It was pretty funny. I love that
great.
show. Yeah, it is a great show.
Did you happen to see AJ Hawk's fingers, by the way?
No, I didn't pay attention.
maybe this might have been an older one. I saw it on YouTube. This thing where he just put his hand up for something and his fingers, it wasn't like sideways, but they were jacked. And so McAfee started fucking with me. He's like, let's play this game. Like, hold your fingers up. I put 2 of them down.
And he couldn't do
he
it?
said like one had gone sideways and he had to have like a tendon pulled from his wrist so they could straighten it back out, but it basically doesn't really move and you can't. It's like a claw. It's goofy as all shit.
Right. All I know is that guy loves cigars, man. I never see
the whole time, man.
Jesus.
He's got one every time he's on the show.
Yeah, it's like, God damn, you got a lot.
Super good show.
The other one that came back and
I like how we're hijacking it. Let's say Pat McAfee again. We're doing it all the time.
Screw Alan.
We do it every time.
And the other one that came back and totally ignored his blackface controversy, the reason why he took the summer off. Jimmy Kimmel was back.
Jimmy Kimmel for black. I thought Jimmy Fallon was the one who did the
Jimmy
black.
Kimmel also for the Man Show when he used to dress up as Karl Malone all the time.
Oh.
Total blackface and all that. So that's why he disappeared the whole summer because the heat was
Jimmy
on him.
Fallon had to do the same thing too, didn't he?
Yeah, well, Jimmy Fallon came out and apologized and did his cry, oh my God, I didn't mean to do it, and now the times have changed, blah, blah. Jimmy Kimmel never really apologized. He just disappeared for a summer.
Oh,
That's
so
why he had all
lay
those
low kind of thing.
Yeah, that's why he had all those guest hosts all summer
Yeah,
long.
okay.
Not because he was going on a summer vacation. So and now he came back and no one addressed it and it just went on.
You know who doesn't have these problems?
Who?
Conan O'Brien, because he is the best.
Yeah,
right?
that is true.
Best late night show.
He doesn't do blackface.
Yeah, outside of John Oliver. Which
I
is
thought you were
going
to say who has these problems is Pat McAfee.
Dude, sign our petition. Change over.
So there you go. Jimmy Kimmel's back, and of course, I watch his monologue because I liked him on Facebook, so his monologues pop up, and some of it's funny, but like it's an 8-minute monologue. 5 minutes of it is Trump stuff. It's like,
It's all any of the late nights.
I mean, we haven't heard enough of
last
this.
week tonight is too.
It's like Jesus Christ. I know.
It's the world we live in right now, Steve.
All right, so now we always talk about the streaming app wars. There's another war brewing, Charles. Are you aware of this war?
BV's got something brewing right now.
Yeah, those spicy nugs moved their way down. He's like, what? So there's the cloud-based game streaming service war going on.
Yes.
And the newest contender with their championship belt is Amazon.
With Luna. Yeah, so this goes, we got Stadia. We have the Netflix, or the NVIDIA product.
GeForce Now. Yep.
Okay. We've got Microsoft's going to have their
Cloud
deal,
X. It's already out. Yep.
And then we've got now Luna, correct?
Luna, which is coming out.
Okay.
I signed up for the early access, so I could. I'd sign up for early access to all these.
I texted you midweek. I was more into that drone that can patrol the inside of your house. I was way into that.
So out of the 4, I've tried 2 of them already, and the third one I'm on the list. I have never tried Stadia.
To me, on paper, I haven't actually put any eyeballs or time into it. The Microsoft product has the best game catalog and the best situation as far. The Stadia thing, where you got to buy the game still, it doesn't make any sense. The NVIDIA thing sounded good, but then they gutted it from what you're telling me.
and you still got to buy your games.
Yeah, so I definitely
Now,
am a fan of the Microsoft
Let's be
product.
fair to them, though. You don't have to buy all the games. So if you pay $5.99 a
Any
month,
of the games anyone wants to play.
yeah, you'll get like 20 games to pick from. They're all
Great,
dog
all
shit.
8 Assassin's Creeds and the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Great. Just what you need.
Games you probably paid 10 years ago.
I mean,
I'm trying to be fair to them.
Yeah,
So there are
okay.
some of the Luna. We don't know yet what the kind of games access is going to be. So I will let you know as soon as I get it. I'll test it out at home, and I'll be like, "This sucks." I already know it.
I mean, if anyone can handle the infrastructure, it's going to be Amazon, because they handle so much of the web. Is all people don't realize. It's not only just the packages that's making Amazon so much money. So much of the internet is hosted through Amazon.
have a
It's
lot of hosting, web servers,
unbelievable.
yeah.
AWS or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's huge.
Yep, especially with like e-commerce type sites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep. So there we go. The next war is a brewing. It's a game streaming service. Now, there's no way all 4 of these are going to last. The one
So put it out there right now. Who do you think is going to be
Microsoft's going to win it.
Microsoft will win it.
They got the best games on it,
Yeah, I agree.
hands down.
But the question is,
you can't
how
play
good
Halo on any of the other ones.
How good is the implementation is going to be the other thing, too.
Well, right now, this kind of annoys me. I have an iPad at home, nice iPad. My daughter has a nice iPad. And you can't play any of these streaming services on this iPad. I have to go out and get an Android tablet if I want to play any of these
Like,
services.
how cool would the future be, right? Is if you could get, like, so I have Apple TVs and stuff. It'd be so awesome if I could just get a Microsoft app on my Apple TV, pair a controller to it, and just be good to go. Like, oh my God, that would just be the future. That would just be amazing.
Yeah, that would be nice. Now, Bill, let me ask you a question. Since you don't want to
Asking
buy
a lot of questions.
I got a lot of questions. One more question, Mr. Bill. So, say you don't want to buy no more consoles. You're sick of it. You're done with it. But you want to play an occasional golf or Madden game. Would you be interested in a streaming service like this? Say the Microsoft one has an EA contract, and you could just play on your laptop or whatever computer you have. You could pull it up and stream Madden or Tiger Woods is back or whatever. Would that be something that interested you for like $9 a month? And then you just cancel it when you're fed up with Madden.
Yeah, if I could subscribe and unsubscribe at will.
Yeah, they let you do
Sure.
that.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Is that better than buying a console for you?
Yeah, because you don't have that giant investment.
I think
Really
that
only play the games you want to play.
those games too are going to lend themselves incredibly to those streaming type services because you don't need the fast twitchness that you need of like a first person shooter and all that kind of stuff.
Fighting game,
Yeah, you definitely. I think that sports games specifically, like EA, should almost throw their hat into the ring and see what
or partner up with one of them.
Yeah, that could be huge.
Surprised they're not partnering up with Microsoft.
Yeah, could be huge.
That might be coming. All right, so there you go. A little look at some streaming game services. And I want to end on a little story. It's not really a rant, but it's a story. So we all know COVID is happening, right? So
Really? This
COVID.
is the first I'm hearing of it.
they also known as coronavirus or Rona. Some people call it
Or
Rona.
the SARS-CoV-2,
Yeah,
whatever it's
yeah.
called.
Not today, Rona. So, as you know, when you go to different places, every place has different procedures. Some do, some don't. For the most,
Some are strict, some are a little more lenient.
some are very
as well.
strict, some are not. Well, I found out the hard way when my 80-year-old in-laws, I helped him with a bathtub. He insisted he wanted to take me to dinner. So I told him Texas Roadhouse in Taylor. Now, we've established on this podcast that is the busiest goddamn restaurant in Taylor. I don't know why. It has been for 20 years.
Because hillbillies love their green beans along the side of their big old chunk of beef.
Yeah, I guess so. And so I didn't think anything of it. We're going to meet at 5:30. This was on Wednesday. They left earlier than Michelle and I. So we showed up. He's standing outside when we pull up going like this. I don't know what's happening.
You see him flailing?
Yeah. There's a lady has a podium outside of the Texas Roadhouse. There's a girl that works there. She's got a mask on. She's got a podium with a notebook.
Okay.
I don't know any of the procedure right now. I assumed you just saw her, gave her your name, and you stood outside and waited.
If
Or
she
went
has
back to your
anything
car.
to tell you, she'll probably let you know.
So I pull up, let Michelle out, and then go park the truck because there was a lot of people there, and and it's only allowed to be 50% capacity. Keep that in mind too. I get out of the truck, I walk up. Michelle and her father are screaming at each other. I know, Dad. You're not listening to this. I signed up, God damn it. So what happens with Texas Roadhouse is you have to call ahead, sit through some automated voices, and then give your name. Then once you show up, you check in with the lady at the podium. You never go inside the building, and she'll check to see if she has your name down and check you off. Then you go back to your car
We'll let
and
you know.
wait for them to call you.
Oh, wow.
Of course, my father-in-law, it blew his mind. Anything outside of DeLuca's, he does not understand. And he was like,
So
what?
they're treating it like a doctor's office almost. 'Cause
Yes.
That's a lot like a doctor.
They're the only restaurant I know that does that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so immediately Michelle asked, did you do this, Dad? I don't know if and he got loud with her. She got loud with him. Now, mind you, you've been to Texas Roadhouse. They pump country music at like the same amount as a Christopher Nolan movie. It's super loud. So Michelle's trying to call. She can't hear. She gives me the phone. Call them in reserve so we know. Reserve. I had to walk back to the truck because I can't hear.
Yeah, like log
and I'm
out.
going through the automated voices. Then I hear a scream from outside. I'm Steve, never mind, come back here. So I came back. I guess the old man went and saw a manager, gave his name, and they said, okay, but we'll get you a seat. We waited 5 minutes, and they got us a seat. Totally screwed the pooch on all of this. So now you know my mother-in-law in the condition she's in where she's bent over all the time.
She's brought to you by the letter L.
Yes. They were going to put us in a high-top booth.
Oh.
I was like, are you kidding?
You should have called Nodded. I'm pushing that ass to the high top.
The lady was nice enough. Michelle actually gave her $5. Listen, can you get us some other table? My
Oh,
mother's
she
not-
greased the palm?
Yeah, Michelle was like, I gave her a tip because I felt bad. And then they put us at a regular table. Now, let me tell you, at Texas Roadhouse, There's no fucking way. I was 6 feet away from somebody.
Oh, wow.
I was sitting here. The next person probably at the end of the sofa.
Oh, that's way too close.
Yeah, you're packed in on it. Well, first off, Texas Roadhouse, how it's designed is almost like LA Fitness's locker room. Everyone's smashed in on. I've always hated
Got a
Texas
bad
Roadhouse
layout.
I've never liked it. And so on top of that, so then you feel crowded in. I'm like, there's no way this is 6 feet. And the other thing I can't stand, and this is not just them. I think we talked about this before. A busboy can't wipe down a salt and pepper shaker.
What do you mean?
So a busboy's going to bust the table, right? And then he's got to sanitize the sand table. You couldn't sanitize the salt and pepper shaker and leave it on the fucking table.
I don't know what you're saying.
Every restaurant you go to, if you want salt and pepper, then you have to go get it from the bag
First
and
of all,
give you
your
little
tubby
packets.
bitch ass shouldn't be eating extra salt.
I'm eating salt and pepper, goddammit.
You
can't eat vegetables without salt and pepper.
You can't.
Comfort guy barely eats vegetables. Listen here.
Look.
When I have my giant pile of broccoli, I need some salt and pepper.
You can't do. I can hear your BP going up as we
I
speak.
don't care.
You can't.
Put it on. Actually, my blood pressure's not that bad. My wife actually has high attention. She has pills for it. I don't.
Yeah.
I have. They don't like the water that builds up my ankles.
You got a piss pill. You got a hydrochloric
That's why I piss on my. Anyways, get sidetracked. Just leave the salt and pepper here on the fucking
So
table.
you got to ask the server to bring it over.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I
yeah.
don't think I
There's
do
nothing on tables now.
that. Oh. Okay.
Anywhere you go, which is
Well,
annoying.
And at the hotel, people got pissed. They took like the coffee maker out of the room, especially when we were in the height of the flattening the curve time before anything kind of laxed off. They took the coffee makers out of the room and stuff because they wanted to eliminate the amount of things you could touch and kind of leave for the next person is what the thought was. People were pissed. They were like, this is crazy and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know.
Bill, what is your take on the salt and pepper shaker?
I don't know that I have a take on the salt and pepper shaker.
You better have one.
Well, okay, well, fine then. All right, so if the concern is that someone with COVID is going to have their, wipe some sort of, particulate all over the salt and pepper shaker, I mean, are you that confident that what they're doing to sanitize everything is that good in the first place? I mean, is it really that much of an inconvenience for you to ask for a salt and pepper shaker and have them bring you one?
Yeah, because you get your meal and your meal's sitting there waiting for the salt and pepper. They walk away to get it and come back. So then your meal's getting a little colder. My broccoli is a couple degrees colder because I cooked the salt and pepper right away.
If you had thought ahead, you would have asked for the salt and pepper shaker before your food ever came.
If it was on the goddamn table, I wouldn't have to think ahead. Just saying.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
you should start taking your own salt and pepper
Yeah,
shakers.
that's a good idea. I have salt and pepper shakers in my pocket.
And just break them out. I'll get you some McCormick ones, little cheapy ones.
I just keep them in the truck.
Yeah, what are those? Those are my vegetable salt and pepper shakers. I don't know.
It just seems weird. It can't have salt and pepper on the
You
fucking
eat
table.
out way more during all this than all of us. BV, have you eaten out during this, or are you still doing a lot of delivery to the house?
No, I've eaten out a couple times.
Where'd you go? Like a sit-down restaurant or like a fast food?
Yeah, I've gone to a couple. So we went to
the bedroom.
What?
No.
No. Like, so Abby and I, we've been to we went to that barbecue place once, and it was pretty much empty. But it was like 2:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday. We went to Olive Garden once. And then a couple times I've gone with a friend from work. We've gone to Gibson's. It's a kind of a higher end steakhouse.
Oh, okay.
And so very tasty, by the way.
All right.
But yeah. So I've been a little bit, but not a ton.
And you haven't eaten out?
Oh, we have, but not to the degree you and Michelle have. You guys have eaten out way more than me and her have. So
About once a week.
yeah, we're not that high. We've gone every couple weeks, 2-3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, and then I ate out with Bob last week. No salt and pepper shaker on that table.
There's a lot of paper menus everywhere you go and stuff like that. I didn't know that salt and pepper shakers were such a hard button issue for you.
Yeah.
Well, they bring you some pack. Well, just leave the package on it. I don't know. Whatever. I'll get it. I don't know.
Just stop eating salt and pepper. Why?
No!
Salt and
How
pepper
dare
you? Hey, son of a bitch. They should season in the back before your food is delivered to your table.
But they don't. With plain ass broccoli. Yeah, some
Look,
flavor.
you're gonna want salt and pepper.
That's
So
right.
when you order the food, hey, could you bring a salt and pepper shaker out?
I don't think about it.
Really that
Not
bad?
until it hits the table. Just you go, I got no goddamn salt and pepper.
Yeah. God damn it. I'm just saying, should be on the table.
That Texas Roadhouse procedure seems pretty crazy.
Yeah, and like I said, when you got two 80-year-old in-laws with you that get uncomfortable when you take them outside of DeLuca's.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So you know how wound up they were. It's like when a
Yeah.
dog sees a stranger.
I'd like to see the mom's face and then walk you guys over to a high boy.
Oh, well, she gets immediately like emotional now. She don't
That's
get
her
pissed anymore.
thing?
Yeah, she used to get pissed and just and want to go and argue with someone.
Now it's tears.
Now it's tears. Everything's tears now. So it's very uplifting to be next to her.
That's super fun.
Yeah, so she's very emotional and teary-eyed all the time.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, she's a nice lady or whatever, but it's like, God damn, calm down. So,
See, it's like it's just a high table.
yeah, no, we'll get you somewhere else. It's fine. It's fine. So that's my random thoughts and rants of the day. So that'll do us for this week. Of course, you can catch us on fatguyslittlepodcast.com or Google Play or Apple iTunes or Spotify or wherever you see stuff. Catch us on Twitch. You'll see some gameplay this week of Mafia. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to actually play it this week. Charles is already ahead of me.
Yeah.
What, you got 10 missions done already?
I'm probably 4 or 5 missions in already.
Bill, did you get the Mafia game or did you skip it?
No, I don't have it yet, but I will get it.
Bill's going to get it. And he's going to play it. Charles used a coupon to get his Mafia.
Yeah, I pulled a Steve. I broke up my $5 Best Buy coupon, and it showed up on the day it came out. I was pretty impressed by that. Best Buy's delivery was really top notch.
Yeah.
I didn't have to wait or nothing like that.
No.
UPS had it on my dining room table by the time. But again, I want to make sure I understand my frustration with modern gaming as I knew better. So as soon as I got home, I threw it my PlayStation because there was a 25-minute long download into an install process.
Yeah. Well, ironically, I downloaded mine on Steam Thursday night.
Oh, you
And then I didn't even play it
yeah,
Friday because I
yeah.
played Dark Crystal. But yeah.
And my early review, and we'll probably all talk about it as a group later, is it looks beautiful. They did a great job. The skin and there's a lot of to be had with like some of the people models still. There's a weird cardboardiness to it, but I'm all in. That game still does it for me. Because it's an open world game, but it's so light in the open world. It's just telling you a story in this.
How
huge
much
open
of
world.
Grand Theft Auto have you played? Any Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto, though, again, Grand Theft Auto is not. I want you to play it because I want you to see, and you might not. You might think that I'm a crazy person, but it's the way that you're in this open world, but it very much tells a story, and I think that that's one of the biggest things. And it might be the setting that very well could be my issue with Grand Theft Auto relative to Mafia.
Because Grand Theft Auto has a story.
I know, but
There's a lot of
way
side
loose.
bullshit you can do.
But it's way looser than.
Oh, okay. It's
I
more
I
streamlined.
want you to have a conversation with me because I'm curious to see your take on it.
And
Because,
I
like I
will play
said,
through
like it just does it for me. There's something about that, and it's funny enough because I can still remember. I got frustrated with the race, and that's when I stopped because I remember this on the PC being a pain in my ass. I set the controller down, walked away, watched the British baking show with Heather. I was like, I gotta walk away.
When you played originally on a PC, was it with a controller or with a?
I was using a mouse and keyboard until I got to this racing segment that I'm telling you about because it was that frustrating, and I paired a controller with it, and then that was a whole. I remember my whole process of it. It is literally one of my top 5 favorite games of all time, and the odds of it hitting you guys the way it does me is probably slim to none. But it's funny enough, it was like right back on the horse. And then the nice part is I can see what they've added because I remember playing the first one so much.
Mm-hmm.
I can see some of they added an opening to it that's a lot different and stuff like that. They're doing really good work. I think I'm going to get the whole definitive edition trilogy because I never played 3.
I played 3.
I played through 2, so I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna work my way back through. I love it that much, and I'm willing to replay.
It's
the
funny
whole
because like
thing.
the first 2 are 30s and 40s, I think, right?
Yeah, the new one shoots up to
Third one's
Louisiana
like
in the
70s or
70s
60, yeah.
Vietnam era, right?
Yeah. Bill, did you get that Skype I sent you Friday about that golf game?
Yeah, I think it's been updated. I've played that before.
Oh, okay.
I used to play it quite a bit.
I forgot the name of it. It's an online
World Golf.
World Tour Golf. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's totally free online. Because I was looking at the 2K had a new golf game out and it's $60, and I'm like, I just get it. So then in one of the message boards, like, you could play World Tour golf for free. I was like, that's more my speed. And it is kicking field goals. So you swing back,
terrible.
you click the mouse, and then the power scale
Golf
goes
video
up.
games. So I originally
But this
bought-
one's free, so it don't cost anything.
I bought the Tiger Woods for the PlayStation Move when it was on PlayStation 3 because you could actually swing the club.
Oh, yeah?
That was part of why I got it and stuff like that.
Was that fun?
No, it's still not very good. It's just a very frustrating experience. But anyway, Mafia Definitive Edition. I'm sure we'll all talk about it, especially next week.
Yeah.
I
Didn't
I
get
just
time
love
with it
that
this
game,
week, but we
yeah.
will be in next week for it. So, all right. Until next week, this is Steve.
And Charles.
And check you next time.